What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tapping in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Doing it from the crib today. Didn't necessarily, I don't know, Fridays are usually either I'm out of town or I'll do it from the house. So I'm not necessarily in a studio. What up to Lee Barton? What up to everybody that support the platform? Shout out to everybody that was tuned in the after hours tonight. We had a heck of a show, didn't we? We had a heck of a show. What's going on to all of my friends and family? I appreciate y'all. Enos Luby says, hope you blessed, AD. You know, I'm going to be honest with you guys. And that's both my weakness and my strength, is my transparency. You know, I open myself up for criticism. I share a lot of my life. A lot of things are happening to me on a regular basis. So I got a birthday on Sunday, right? Got a birthday on Sunday, and I will be 43 years old. Look at me. I'm looking rough. Haven't gotten a haircut. Don't worry. By the end of the day today, I got my guy coming over here to make sure he take care of it, clean me up, make sure that my beard is straight and all of that. So, but I honestly, I'm just not. I don't know how I should feel right now. I know I'm blessed, and I've been blessed for a long time, and I'm not sure if because I've been blessed for a long time, I get a little bit more introspective, and maybe the money don't mean as much as it used to because you're used to it. And then you start reflecting on all of the different things that's happening in your life and your relationship. And if I'm honest with you guys, if I'm being absolutely honest, I think the only thing that matters to me right now on a daily basis, like the only thing that I think about, that I think to myself, man, this is very, very important, is my daughter. That's the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head where I say, yeah, man, this is very, very, this is something that's very important for me to think about. Like the only thing that I think about on a daily basis is can't wait to get back to work because I love working. And so I usually would drown myself in work, and then I'll spend like a couple hours out of the day going into the streets, giving back to the streets, interacting with people or whatever. And the other side of it is being obsessively manic about the well-being and what do I need to do for my daughter, and is she this and is she all that. Like, I don't know what it is, but the only thing that kind of like is resonating with me right now, the only two things that's resonating with me is work and what's best for my daughter. That's it. When is her next trip? How is she doing in Taekwondo? All of that. Like if it ain't really about work or my daughter, I don't really think about it. It's just not a thing for me right now. Happy early birthday. Somebody said, why not try for a son too? Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm too old for that. I am. I'm too old for new babies. I am about to be 43. Let's say I was to have a kid by the time I was 44, 54, 62. By the time that they turn 18, nope. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I'm not really interested on that type of front. I'm straight. I don't want to be 62 with an 18-year-old. I'm straight. I'm cool off that. And Leslie is very, very territorial. I don't think that my daughter wants me to ever have another kid because she wants me to focus all of my energy on her. Um, yep, facts. You're gonna have at least two grandsons. Good point. My kids are grown, pass on old baby. Yeah, I don't understand these geriatric parents. You know, I'll be seeing some of them on these social media platforms and they getting involved with these younger girls. Ain't nobody trying to be hanging out with them. Glad Abraham and Sarah didn't think that way. That's not, listen, back in them days, they lived for longer periods of time. They was old. Anton, have you seen the Singapore leader Tariffs? I seen it come across my timeline. I haven't watched it yet. Me neither. After 40 kids are almost out the house, I'm trying to be kid free in my 50s. Thought I did the snip snip. I did. I do have a vasectomy, but you know those things can be reversed. Listen, man, technology is so incredible. I found out that you didn't even have to get it reversed in order to have a kid. Think about that. Let me see what else is going on in this chat before we get started. Definitely understand that. Thank good my sons are grown and living their best lives, and now it's my time. Make more babies. No, that's for y'all. Y'all make more babies. Y'all had that. 18 and 14 and we done. Right. I have a grandchild. Why have another kid? Now ridiculous. Happy early birthday. Thank you. I appreciate you for the birthday wishes. How was that experience, AD? I'm considering one in the next 5 years. How was my experience having my daughter? Best thing that ever happened to me. I would tell you that my daughter probably put the battery in my back to be as motivated to do the things that I do now. The problem is that I don't know how to slow down. You and wifey good family? Yeah, we good. The one thing I don't have problems with is women. I mean, you know, women get a little cantankerous, but that's just the spirit of a woman. Um, you don't think about it. Like women are automated. Like they are what they are, and they always gonna be what they are. So you don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? You worry about your children. Your kid is affected by what goes on in the culture. Your kid, you know, they're still evolving. Their brain isn't fully developed. You got to protect them from themselves. They, you know, anytime they get in the car and they drive, you think about it, safety, worries, all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't worry about grown people. I don't worry about grown people. You know, grown people are grown people. You just kind of go with the flow with whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? The thing that you worry about is your children. The children are the ones that you worry about because you're still putting things into them and you want them to be smart. You want them to make wise decisions and you still want to let them fail in controlled environments. You still try to be there for them and all of that stuff. So I've always been more focused on my daughter than I am about grown folks. Even when I go out and I give money and I tithe to the streets, I just give the money. I don't worry about what they do with it. What they do with it, that's between them and God. Once it leaves my hand, I'm just completely released from it. My goal is to make sure that I just add value into people's lives. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. Facts. Money over women all day long. Money over women all day long. You got to focus on your purpose. Anton, I want to thank you for getting me back in the stock game. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Treese. Jennifer says I have twin boys too. Happy Friday, says Miss Mellies. What else we got going on? What else, y'all? I'm wondering how I'm gonna do the after hour show tonight. Should I have it to where people can call in? Because I know that y'all been saying, y'all want to call in and stuff like that, so on and so forth. I'm dropping a new post in the Patreon this weekend, so y'all better look out for that because that's going to be important. Leave something better than how you found it is a good motto. Facts. Nah, I'll pick the women. Never make women the center of your life, bro. Remember this. If you are who you are and you win it at life, the women come with it. You don't ever have to chase women. That's hard for guys to understand because they so focused on box. They got boxolitis out of their minds. If you are focused on winning in life, I am telling you, it don't matter what your skin complexion is. It doesn't matter how tall or short you are. It doesn't matter none of that other type of stuff. When you are a winner and you control the controllables, the women come with it. I promise you. When all of these guys sit there and they compare themselves against other guys and stuff, I know that they got a problem with themselves. I know that they have something that they worry about with themselves. They have a deficiency within themselves. And that's why they then start to focus on whether or not another guy is getting boxed or not. When you win it, you don't care about what other people is doing, what other men is doing. Oh man, he getting money. Oh, that's dope, man. You start to partner with people that get money because you realize, yo, we stronger together than we are apart. You don't count the bodies that another man have. You don't start to evaluate whether or not he was great in his past. I find that guys that is pussy watching and they're so focused on whether or not she talking to him or yo, I know that they have something within them that is broken. I've always found that dudes that they hate on other men in order to pander to women, or they do that type of stuff. And I'm like, is it a shortage of women that's available? If you're winning as a man, you know that you are disproportionately at an advantage in life. With all of the men that are gay, with all of the men that are in jail, with all of the men that are broke, with all of the men that can't figure out, the ones that prefer to stay in their mother's basement, bro, you are outnumbered. And I'm not even saying that you should indulge because I also preach dick discipline. But the fact of the matter is, I have never understood dudes that hate on other men just so they could try to make themselves seem better. She's still going anyway. After you get done hating, guess what? She's still going if I want her. And so confidence is key, and working and focusing on running up a bag and not pedestalizing box, it comes with it. The biggest question is, do you have the dick discipline to turn it down or to focus on getting more money, or are you losing money as a result of chasing box? And so I never understood that. I never understood guys that be so worried about one another. What you did in high school. Did you get any box? I don't even like when guys talk about, and we're going to get into it, y'all. We'll get into it in a minute. But I'm just, it's my birthday coming up Sunday, so I just kind of want to reflect and get my thoughts off. I don't understand, none of that. It's the weirdest thing when I see guys that be like trying to, I don't like when guys tell the women that they've slept with. I think that that's corny. I think that is so what you doing it for clout? What you telling people for? Why is that meaningful to you? You know what I'm saying? That's not even professional. It's not kosher. It ain't sweet. It don't get you no extra box. It ain't no accolades. It just don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in being professional and taking care of business and being business focused, understanding that the money come with it, the women come with it. Now you got to decide whether or not you want to entertain certain women, but that has never been a problem. It has never been a problem. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a problem, and it shouldn't be a man's focus at all. So it is lame. It's the lamest thing ever, and I don't understand it. Talking about it. Somebody says, what you did in high school matter. Yeah, when you was in high school, I'm about to be 43. Why would I care about what? Listen, okay. We're going to get into the show after this. I had an incredible time in high school. High school was an awesome time. Women, I had my brother's clothes because they were 6 or 7 years older than me, so I was fresh as hell. I wore Gucci loafers. We was fresh. I wore Coogis in high school. I was wearing $600 and $700 Coogis in high school. Life was incredible. It was great. We had a grand time. We graduated on time. I went to one of the best high schools inside of the city. It was beautiful girls everywhere. Life was good. But that was 25 years ago, family. It was 25 years ago. So why am I still reminiscing and focusing on what happened 25 years ago? I graduated in 2000. 2000. Family, if we are still as grown men, still trying to justify the things that we were and what we did in high school, and we not focused on who we are as 43, 44, 45, I am trying to get myself to the point to where I can buy a plane by the time that I'm 50. I can't focus on where I'm going if I'm focused on who I was. I can't focus on where I'm going if I'm focused on who I was. I want a plane. I don't want to revisit what I did in high school. I don't care about what I did last year. Last month don't mean anything to me. I'm focused on this month and the month that's coming in front of me. Why am I sitting here worried about what happened 25 years ago? When I see a grown man says, man, I know they didn't get no boxing school. What you want me to do? You want me to prove it to you? No, man, I was good. Want me to go get my yearbook? It's 25 years ago. Even if you were a nerd in high school and you focus on your studies, I think that's phenomenal. But who are you now and what are you doing now and how are you impacting your community? And are you a good father? And do you take care of business? And do you run up the bag? And are you doing something illegal? And are you focused on continuing to employ more people? And how are you pouring back into your city? How much property do you own? Do you own your own home? Are you in debt? There's bigger things to worry about than whether or not we was him in high school. High school? Somebody said it. What are you, Al Bundy? Because let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of guys that was him in school and they dusty today. So would you rather have been the man in school? Because I had a great time. And so I'm very blessed. Would you rather have been the man back 25 years ago or you want to be the man today? High school 25 years ago? And I'd just be like, grow up, bro. Grow up. Polk High. 4 touchdowns in one game at Polk High. And you broke and dusty and you working at the shoe store still. Trying to do grown man stuff. Nobody thinking about no goddamn high school. Sorry, y'all, it's Friday, so we gonna let loose a little bit. What else? What else we got, y'all? Let me see what's happening in the chat. High school. I don't even care what school somebody went to. When you get up to your 10-year reunion, I'll be like, all right, let's keep it moving. Like, I don't even care no more. Facts, Darius. I like that. All right, I'm gonna read the super chats and then we're gonna go ahead and get I'm letting loose for the rest of my life. I think that as you get older, you stop caring as much about what everybody thinking. You know how you get with your grandparents and stuff like that, and they be like, they just start telling you what they really feel and stuff. That's how I kind of feel as I get older every single day. Mike, that dude, I appreciate you. You hit me with this birthday love. Thank you for the big dog ball over on Cash App. Spencer Campbell says, good morning, AD. Thank you, Spencer Campbell. Shamira, what up, Shamira? I appreciate you. Says theme song for 2025. Is that your chick? Yeah, I'm choosing everybody this year. My revenge tour is going to be, if you have a problem with me, then we gonna battle it out for your girl. And if she choose me, I'm choosing her back. I'm not gonna make no live stream about you. I'm not gonna go back and forth. We not gonna debate anything. I'ma just see what she talking about. And if you got her locked down, then you win. If I can get her, then I win. And I'm gonna put her right here on this. Listen, this brown couch. I got a yellow one over there. I got a yellow couch over there, right there. I went with a whole retro theme. You can see the the Apple eye goggles or whatever right there. See all that liquor right there? All that good stuff? She can have her choice of the liquor. I'm going to let her pick the brown couch or the yellow retro couch, and we're going to figure it out right here, right after she signed this consent agreement that's over here. I got my consent agreement. Where is it at? Thought I had a consent agreement in here somewhere. Here it is. I think this is it. Terms and conditions. Where's my consent agreement? Thought I had it in here somewhere. Right after she signed a consent agreement and an NDA, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a whole lot of conversations. Where is it at? I got to find it. Don't worry about it. I get it together for her. Sometimes you send it for them before they even fly in. As long as she signed that consent agreement, we're going to figure it out. All right. I got it. I don't really print them no more because I just grab the iPad. I have them do the e-sign on the iPad, and then I record it, make sure I take a picture of their ID or their passport, and then we get them together. Anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Tracy. We do DocuSign now. We don't have to have them sign nothing any physical. Just get the Apple Pencil. I keep an Apple Pencil just so you can DocuSign. Let's see what I got over here. Get the Apple Pencil, DocuSign it, put it back on the iPad. Bam. All right, baby. Make yourself comfortable. You want something to drink? Then we all free to go. All right. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feel? Word AD. Talking that high value metropolitan man-ish. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and continue on. And let me say this too. Because I know a lot of women is like, oh man, it's a lot of guys that's feeling some type of way. Look. I know I inspire you. What am I communicating to your girl? Right? Think about that for a second. For everybody that's in here, know this. For the ladies that have a good man, you better learn how to keep him. I'm teaching your girl how to be right. If you just let yourself go, if you frumpy, if you keep complaining to him every single day, you better step your game up, because if he great, trust me, he's not going to have no problem. Replacements. For all of the ladies that's in the chat right now, let me help you to understand something. If you have a good one, you better start taking ownership and accountability of who you are, because don't think for one second that if he wanted to, that he couldn't, but he's just being faithful. Not because you're a good woman, but because he's a good man. You better step your game up. You better get your attitude together. You better act like you got some sense. You better stop acting like the world owe you something. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to communicate something to you. You just not catching it. Let me go ahead and do this. Unbutton my shirt so we're going to get comfortable today. Lee Barton, what up, Lee? Says, Anton, I appreciate your constructive criticism and thank you. Put my own self and credit card debt. Now I cut up my cars and I'm working towards paying them off so I can run up a bag. Shout out to Lee. I like that, big dog. Dre with the K. Thank you, big dog. I appreciate you for the 50 ball. Says, I just turned 31 today. Blessed to see another year and bought me some video for my birthday. That's how grown men move. We buy ourselves stock for our birthday, all right? Devontae Dickens says, tomorrow is my father's birthday. Passed away 5 years ago, running a 5K for him and down 120 pounds. Oh, see how these guys is running it up and stepping up and take care of their business. Anton, have you seen Singapore leader Tariff vid? I seen it come up on my timeline. I haven't watched it yet. Good morning, Anton, and the Millionaire Morning Show. Thank you, P. Shank. Thank you, baby. Good morning, AD. Thanks for the warning yesterday. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Robinson. I like that. A.R. Smitty says, when you're winning, the women come with it. That's what the pickup artist won't tell you. Anybody that calls himself a pickup artist is out of their mind. 392Q says, you lose money chasing women, but you never lose money chasing money. Talk about it. Don't crash out of a box. Jails is full of them. Dang, homie, in high school, you was the man, homie. The F happened to you. Hey, he actually played that song during his residency in Vegas. I went and seen it. Princeton Lass says, 80, please pray for me as I deal with the loss of my mother. Man, God bless you, bro. She passed the day before my 26th birthday earlier this week. She was 51. I'm with you, bro. I know what it feels like to lose a parent. God bless you, big dog. Trust me, it gets better. It gets easier every day. And just remember this, your parent will want for you to live the best life possible. They don't want you to grieve, because if they pass, then they in a better place. They not sitting here suffering on this funky earth dealing with all of this nonsense that we dealing with. God bless you, big bro. I got you. Mr. Lot says facts. People peaked in high school, and that was the last time somebody actually cared about them. And that's why they so stuck in that mindset. Abundance mindset, thank you, says drinks on me, G. I appreciate you. Country Boy Finesse says, what's good, AD Stock Club was lit. Make sure y'all join the Patreon. Link is in the description. How many consent agreements you sending out? One for every person that want to come and visit me. Thigh slap test. I got on pants. I don't even got no shorts. I got on pants today. Trucker 99 says, I'll have roughly 20K in disposable savings in 1 year, thinking about starting a fix and flip journey. What is your outlook on the coming housing market? I think that housing is always the safest place. I look at housing also from a tax perspective. I think that housing is always going to be the safest place to stash some money and also increase the value of your investment. So I like the housing market. As far as the flipping market, really, that doesn't matter what the housing market is going to do instead of the flipping market, because most flips is cosmetic. So the question is, can you get the right price for it? You got to look at the comps in your area. Once you look at the comps in your area, you realize what the houses is going for. If you don't wind up, if you right there below the top marketed house or whatever the value is for the top market house, but you can save money, and then you got to factor in the cost of real estate fees as far as your actual broker that sells the house. If you can net somewhere between 30 and 40,000 per, and net after your expenses, after your real estate fees, if you can net 30 to 40,000, you can do well. It doesn't really matter what the market is doing. It's about the comps in the area. Bam Bam Lynch says, I think housing is going to be fine. My son and I graduated high school 14 years apart. Dang, Bam Bam. Uncut Underground says, I told you illegal immigrant workers can stay. This country was built on cheap labor, foreign and domestic. I'm looking into getting the crew together. America's back. Shout out to my guy, Ty, man. Listen, me and Ty have had disagreements in the past and stuff, but I love Ty. I wish, the only thing about Ty, Uncut Underground, and y'all go check out his channel. The only thing about him is that I wish he would actually be more consistent with his content. I wish he would do more live streams. I wish he would actually post more content. Ty be lazy, y'all. Ty is lazy as hell, real talk. Uncut Underground could actually be one of the best streamers, but he be acting lazy, and he only want to stream sometimes, and then he want to come online when he feel like it. I wish he would just go ahead and just be consistent for like a year straight, and then see what that does. And then he would actually be, you know what I'm saying? I think he would be very, very great. That's the only thing about Uncut Underground. I think that he's a really great content creator, and I wish he would actually do some more content and be consistent. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you for always holding me down and tuning in for the show. Abundance Mind says, happy birthday, my G. Drinks on me. Appreciate you. Chase Barnes says, happy Friday, AD and peeps. This is for the AD birthday fund, not the revenge tour. Happy birthday, Big Cuz says, logical thoughts. Hope my Knicks take your board. Listen, if y'all play us, y'all gonna get destroyed. I hate to say it. The Pistons is probably one of the most dangerous teams, not projected to go as far as y'all think that they're gonna go. I think that the Pistons, shout out to Country Boy Finesse. Go and check out his channel also. I think that Pistons is one of the most dangerous teams. But it's going to be a fun playoffs. Very, very fun playoffs. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get started with the show? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. The first thing that I want to start off with, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to read some more super chats. Thank you to everybody for the birthday love. Thank you to everybody that's holding me down. Is something that I had noticed yesterday, and I had a conversation about it, but I want to bring it to the forefront because I think that this is absolutely despicable. And I can't believe that I actually seen people supporting this foolishness and supporting this nonsense and thinking that this was logical and this was okay for people to do. So before we get into it, they was mad at me yesterday, JD. I ain't worried about it. They love to them. Before we get into it, I want to share this video with you guys, and I want to see what y'all think about it. Make sure y'all add a like to the algorithm, and make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Let's go.
At 10, a waitress attacked and beaten at a Pilsen restaurant by two female customers who then took off. It was all captured on surveillance video. This happened on Sunday at El Taco Azteca in Pilsen. NBC5's JC Navarrete with the reaction tonight.
Una rabia.
I feel rage, primarily because something like this has never happened before. And for it to be over a $50 bill just doesn't make any sense. A merciless beating caught on camera, all stemming from a dispute over the check. Before fists flew, a disgruntled customer went behind the bar and dunked the waitress.
Look how evil y'all are. I almost believe that it's a spirit in Chicago. If you from Chicago, then make sure before you wake up every morning that you put olive oil above your door, that you pray, that you cover your kids in prayer, and that you pray for everything to go right in your life that day, because I honestly believe that it is a spirit of evil that has overtaken the people inside of the Chicago legislators, inside of Chicago schools. I think that y'all have defunded y'all police. Y'all got a fifth grade teacher as a mayor, and even Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker don't want to see y'all win. They are destroying that city. And if I didn't know any better, I would think that they are running that city into the ground purposely so they can run y'all out of it. And then they're going to change it into what they want it to be. Usually when you want a major transformation into a city, you have to drive it all the way into bankruptcy, and it has to be destroyed before you can rebuild it back up with the right people. And I think that Chicago is honestly just, it's not even right, because I remember when I was younger, like before I graduated high school, Chicago was the place for you to go and visit inside of the Midwest. Like people used to go and visit, and like us over in Detroit, we always called them cousins. People in Milwaukee would go down to Chicago to visit. People over in Detroit and Indiana, if you wasn't going to the casino, you would drive over 4 hours and go and visit Chicago. Now, people either just skip right over it, or they head the other way. They head east over to Pittsburgh and go and visit Pittsburgh instead. Which Pittsburgh is pretty liberal, but Pittsburgh is a much better place to visit than Chicago. Chicago just not safe no more. It's genuinely just not safe anymore. And you can see it in the spirit of the people. They're over here destroying restaurants. They getting into fights over 50. Why would you walk behind the counter of an establishment, grab the waitress's phone and throw it and dunk it into a thing of water?
Waitress's phone into a bucket after she was told she would not be getting a refund. The restaurant alleges both customers had finished most of their takeout order when they demanded a refund. That same customer then takes her frustrations out on the restaurant. She starts making a mess of the place. Employees tell me the waitress began to call 911, escalating the situation into an all-out melee. The beating continued for about 2 minutes, where both women were seen stomping, punching, and
I believe that anybody that's been raised in a hood, or anybody that's been raised in public schools that are not so great all the time and stuff like that, you'll realize at some point that women is actually more fierce and unrelenting and destructive when it comes to fighting and just maiming a person and having no mercy on a person than a lot of the men are. The women are more fierce. They don't care. They're not checking for no police. They will beat a chick down. They will bum rush you. All of that stuff. They are more unrelenting than the men are. Men tend to have a little bit compassion. They have a lot more patience. If you're getting into it with them, like, don't get me wrong, the YNs, the young dudes, they are evil too in a lot of instances. And, you know, they do some of the most horrendous crimes and all of that stuff. But the women, they are straight up monsters. They will stomp on a chick, beat them like a man. And listen, if you know that this is caught on camera, if this is caught on camera and they doing this in a restaurant and tearing up the establishment and then fighting the waitress and beating her to the ground, you know that this is not the first time that they done did this. This ain't new. They didn't just go off the hinges. They not just pissed off over a $50 bill that they ate most of the food for. And here's the worst part. The establishments can't get no help in Chicago. The business owners can't get no help in Chicago because not only did Brandon Johnson continue to remove the tools that was necessary to help Chicago police, they're underfunded, understaffed, and they cannot help anybody, and they can't be everywhere at one time. And so the women is just turning into straight up monsters. Straight up monsters. I have never seen women so evil to where they're ready to scrap and ready to throw down at the drop of a dime. They don't avoid confrontation, they run to it.
And kicking the waitress. I came in, and when I heard what was going on, I was able to pull off one of her attackers. When we finally got them separated, one of them turned to me and started swinging. We're keeping that waitress identity anonymous here tonight. We can tell you, though, she is recovering, but she did suffer a broken pinky, bruises on her head, and cuts on her face, as well as bruised ribs. Tonight, the restaurant is calling on Chicago police to find those responsible. And tonight, Marta is not mincing words. She has a message for those responsible. I want them to know we're going to find you, whatever it takes. I'm putting everything I have into this. I have no doubt about it. We're going to find you. JC Navarrete, NBC5 News.
And then they got the whole footage. They actually show it the whole time where they inside of here, and then they go and then they throw the lady's phone in, and then they go and fighting on the chick, and they beating her, and they absolutely destroying her and all of this stuff. And then y'all wonder why don't nobody want to actually build. They don't want to invest in your communities. Y'all are go on the internet and start complaining that you got a food desert, that, how come they don't put no resources into my communities and stuff like that. These girls are still at large. They went in there, caused the ruckus. The waitress was calling 911 when they decided to mollywop her. They stomped on her, kicked on her, beat on her. None of the community is saying anything about it. The police officers never showed up. And now they have to basically go to the news or go to social media to get the story out to ultimately find somebody to bring these girls to justice. And here's the key. Now, because stereotypes are rooted in truth, nobody just makes them up and they just come out of nowhere. Stereotypes are rooted in truth. So now what you'll have is, because we're not a monolith, right? And nobody is everything. So you're not going to see all black people like this. You're not going to see all black women like this. But now black women will have to overcome a stereotype, because the thing that we celebrate and we promote the most in the culture is this. The things that we promote in the culture is this. So you'll see people, right, having to overcome the perspective that other people, when you come into it, listen, the thing, and I'm going to tell you the truth. Anybody that's ever had a server job, anybody that's ever had a retail job, anybody that has ever had to deal with the community or deal with anything like that, they will tell you that the people that they hate coming the most is black women. A group of black women is a red flag. Black women servers will tell you that they hate of all of the people that they have to deal with. They cannot stand a group of women that come into the restaurant because they know they're going to be unruly. They know they're going to be pushy. They know they're going to be over demanding. They know that they're not getting a tip, and they know that they're going to have bad attitudes as a result of it. And they're going to sit there for 3 to 4 hours at the table talking and being social and don't care anything, don't even buy another drink, and don't care anything about actually spending money. And they're going to take up all of the time and all of the table of that server because they only got a specific section. Miss Mel Love. Mel Love. Am I telling the truth or no? They gonna take up they gonna be there for 2-3 hours talking, taking up all your tables in your section. Don't order a lick of food. Try to figure out how they can get out of the bill. Got a bad attitude, extra demanding, and don't even leave a tip at the end of the day. And then we want to get mad because people don't want to actually deal with us and any of this type of stuff. Cheap, demanding, ugly, and usually it's the ones that ain't even spending no money that be the most demanding. Usually it's the ones that ain't even spending no money that's the most demanding. They want everything. They want to bend over backwards, and they think that they doing you a favor by blessing you with their presence. Every single time. And don't even let me get on the church folks that come in on Sunday after church service. Ain't got no money. Got no money. Always going out to eat after service with their Steve Harvey suits on. No money, going straight to the restaurant after service with their hats and their Steve Harvey suits, and just make it so difficult for the service industry. Think that they doing you a favor by coming to your restaurant, taking up your tables, and ain't got a dime to their name. Just be at the restaurant all the time. All the time. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Been wearing that same suit since 1993. Lime green, purple, big hats. Just got done talking about giving all of the money into the offering plate and can't give no money to give a tip at the restaurant that y'all going to. No, ain't nobody racist. See, look, black people always claiming racist. Oh, there's some racist white people in the chat. No, let me listen. You know what's so funny? We have been so privileged as people. We have been so privileged as people that we don't think that other people have an opinion of us when we do stupid stuff. What you think, that they don't have eyes and they don't have ears and that they're not supposed to pay attention? I don't see nothing. No, all black people are good. All white people ain't good. And we easily notice when they doing stuff that they not supposed to do, and we call it out immediately. Hey. Y'all be ready to cancel them, call a job, hold them accountable and all of that. But then when they call you out on your BS, they're racist. Nope. We not censoring people. We not going to sit here and say that their opinions ain't valid. Everybody's opinion is valid on everybody because we sit and we evaluate people based off of our real lived experiences. And when you see the monster that is sitting there beating up that woman, beating up them women, them servers, and throwing their phones inside of water, don't sit here and claim racism. Hold your black queens to be. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. I have never gotten into a problem where I couldn't get out of, and ain't nobody ever strung me up on a tree or hung me from a branch. Nobody has ever strung me up on a tree and hung me from a branch. Stop claiming racism because you a bad actor, because you got bad habits. Stop always claiming. Everybody ain't racist. Some people just look at you as a horrible person. You're a bad person. Everybody not racist. Just because you come into an establishment, don't think that they arguing over not serving you because they racist. They arguing over not serving you because the group that came behind you was over demanding, demanded a refund, ate all of their food, and then acted like they had a hair inside of their food so that they didn't have to pay their bill. It's not that they racist, it's the people that came before you created the cultural norm and the stereotype that's actually true. And you probably just like them. Because you look like them, you talk like them, you act like them, you came in being demanding just like them, and you said, hey, as soon as your song came on. everybody is racist. No, they not. You just dusty and broke and you keep on doing the same thing that we say that we don't like. Let me read these super chats. Organized Truth says, thank you, Mr. Daniels, for all of the value you bring on a daily basis. Back chasing for life. Shout out to Organized Truth. I appreciate you. My dog, Lance. I just talked to Lance on yesterday. You know what? Me and Lance, we actually went to high school together. I've known Lance for 30 years, boy. I've known Lance for almost 30 years. That's crazy. What up to my dog, Lance? I appreciate you. Drill music left a lot of dead lost souls in the city. Shout out to Young Reckless. Carter B882 says, hey, Anton, have you seen a Seamus interview on the Flagrant podcast breaking down the tariffs and why they will make America stronger? I haven't. Send it to me in an email, and then I'm going to go ahead and watch that. Car Concierge says, happy birthday, famo. Thank you for all of the knowledge and the growth that you give. Shout out to my guy. Nate Bit says, Chicago means wild onion. If spirits lived names and words, it explains the spirit of the city. Detroit, by the way, means the straight because of our river. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. A.R. Smitty says they got to be gang members, or they could just be unruly. The Terrible People podcast says, salute to you, sir, for changing the narrative. Enjoy your birthday weekend. You are an inspiration and you are appreciated. God bless. I'll be tuning in tonight. Thank you, my friend. I think I'm going to take a nap before I do it tonight. Happy birthday, happy born day, almost OG. God bless, says Jamal Fowler. Thank you, Jamal. I like that hat too. Wyatt B856 says, now black women going to have to pay tariffs in Mexican restaurants when we go. N. Patterson says, stereotypes just save time. Master Irrigation says, it's a reason God made men to lead because women are destructive and teach their sons to get guns and daughters repeat the same destruction. Shout out to Master Irrigation. Willie Love says, happy early birthday. AD just turned 31 on the 9th and got one of my biggest payments for my business. Shout out to you. Time to grind. I like that. FPSD said, what Charleston White says make more sense every day. Kicking it with a chef. You ain't going to keep on putting that dress on in front of me and thinking that I'm not about to go on tour. Happy birthday, Anton. Have a magnificent weekend. Raph Unique says, while I was at work, these two high school girls punched and uppercut this grown woman until she had a bloody nose. Sad. Jeremy H. says, angry white women are Karens. What are angry black women? Wrath Unique says, some companies don't deliver pizza to my house out of fear of delivery drivers being robbed. T says, blacks claim racism and don't even know what racism means, but claims they're oppressed. Chris Cunningham says, I took my family to Longhorn Steakhouses and I had a black waiter and he standoffish at first. Once he realized we wasn't them, I doubled his tip when we was done. Showcase Classic said, happy birthday, Anton. Shout out to you, Showcase. What books are you reading lately? There's one down there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm rereading it. Let's see if I can show it. See that one right down there? See that book under that table? I'm reading Diplomacy again. Reading Diplomacy again by Henry Kissinger. That is what I'm on. And I've been reading the Bible a lot more lately too. So shout out to you. Thank you for the question. That's a great question. Black and Healthy Restoring Black America says, new subscriber, first time catching the morning show. Happy birthday, young man. Ratchet behavior should never be glorified. Our people need scripture in their lives. Facts. Always keep a good book around. Always. And it impresses the girl that you're bringing over. Shauna Shelton says, happy birthday, blessings. Love how you keep it. 100. Love how you keep it 100. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate you. Thank you, baby girl. Latoya Blue says, happy birthday, Anton. May God grant you with many more. Thank you, Latoya. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see y'all in person. This weekend, I'm posting when we are going to have the Patreon meetup, the first one this year. It's going to be awesome. Awesome. Let me see. What else we got? All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's flip over. Let's get to these Chinese tariffs. So Chinese tariffs, they have increased to 125%. I am going to share a couple different things today. First, let's get a general summary, and then we're going to deep dive, and then we're going to talk about the U.S. response to it. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Let's talk about it.
I want to go to the White House now. Of course, this trade war with China shows no sign of ending yet. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott tracking the latest at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. Yes, there is no sign that either country is backing down. In fact, China only striking back, announcing it will impose a 125% tariff on American goods.
Overnight, the trade war between the U.S. and China escalating as Beijing raises its tariffs on American goods to 125%, set to take effect tomorrow. Chinese President Xi Jinping saying there are no winners in a tariff war and warning going against the world will only result in self-isolation.
What he means by that, going against the world will only result in self-isolation. He's trying to appeal. Yesterday, Xi Jinping decided that instead of going directly to the United States of America to engage like the rest of the world is doing, right? He's trying to petition the rest of the world to go against America. And they are using everything in their toolbox, every single piece of influence that they can to try to talk to the rest of the world. So what they're doing is they're going to everybody around. China is doing what I'm about to do this year, this summer on my I Choose You tour. They're not trying to engage with the United States of America. They're going around the United States of America to try to influence the people, to try to influence our other trading partners. And they're saying, hey, y'all, we got to stand together against the United States of America. We're going to take the hit. We're going to continue to impose tariffs. We're going to have tariffs imposed against us. We'll take the hit, but we want you guys to try to stand against the United States of America. Here's the problem with that. We have all the leverage because not only are we their biggest trading partner, we are the one that disproportionately consume. So the trade imbalance is so unfair to where it's at least a 4 or 5 to 1 ratio of the amount of goods and services that we consume versus what we export over into their country. And here's the biggest problem. It's not just trade. It's the way that the Chinese does business. They have regularly tried to throttle Apple. They have regularly tried to censor the majority of all of our companies that do business, because I'm not even just talking about goods and services. I'm talking about our technology companies. They won't let our technology companies have a foot inside of China because they are regularly trying to make sure that they input censorship. They are regularly trying to export and take all of the IP. They regularly are trying to require for these technology companies to do business with China first, with the government first, to subject themselves to the government first before they can do business with the people. And so what people don't understand is that this trade war is more than just the goods and services that are going in and out of the United States of America and into China. It is also based off of the very principles that they can come over here and put their companies over here and do what they want to do in other countries, but they cannot abide by the same rules because you can't sue them in court. You don't have to go through a Congress. You just have to subject yourself to whatever it is that they say and do whenever they want to say and do it, regardless of how much money and how many businesses that you've opened up over inside of China. It's more than that. So what they are trying to do and what their strategy is they're going to try to meet Trump tariff for tariff. And I have some videos that I'm going to show you guys to show you, because see, you don't get to see their people complaining because they have a lot of censorship. So some of the videos are now starting to leak out of the employees, the companies, the businesses, how their people are suffering, and how the Chinese people are starting to revolt against the Chinese government. You don't get to see that. All you see is women with pink hair running around in the streets, protesting against Elon Musk, everybody saying that they stand with China, and the people in China not even standing with China. The businesses in China is not even standing with the Chinese government, and they are starting to revolt. So while y'all over there sucking them up, keep on getting on your knees to try to take the whole thing from China, the people over in China is like, man, what the hell is we doing over here? Y'all, we suffering. But we gonna get there. We'll get there.
For and warning going against the world will only result in self-isolation. President Trump acknowledging the headwinds, calling it a transition cost.
There'll always be transition difficulty.
The market rebounded after the announcement of his 90-day pause, but that was short-lived. Much of the gains wiped out as investors sold off after the rally. As a new estimate from the Yale Budget Lab says, the new tariff system will cost households an average of $4,700 annually. The president insisting it will be worth it.
Now, remember this. I want y'all to also take this into consideration. You don't have to continue to do the same things that you're doing. You can choose. I seen a guy, he wrote inside of one of my comments yesterday. He says, Anton doesn't know what he's talking about. It was a guy, I forgot what his name was. I highlighted his comment. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And he posted a comment, the same thing that he was saying in the chat. He posted it in a video. He said, Anton doesn't know what he's talking about because I even remember back when he was talking about inflation. He didn't have a clue of what inflation was. And all he did was take Fox News talking points and he regurgitated it to the people, and the people didn't even understand what he was saying. And I said, oh, really? Really? Are you mad because I don't support liberal policies, or are you actually telling the truth about what's going on? Give you an example about the inflation. Inflation is absolutely measured by the federal government based off of whatever it is that's happening, right? The price of eggs, groceries, all of that stuff. But inflation is also about how much money is being printed by the federal government, and basically that is directly tied to the national deficit, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different factors that goes into inflation, but inflation also can then personally go up or down depending on what your lifestyle is and your spending habits. 100%. Your lifestyle and your spending habits directly is impacted. Your finances and how you live your life and how you're impacted by whatever it is that's going on inside of the economy directly is tied to what you're paying individually as inflation. People that take public transportation, for example. I'll use a very basic example. People that take public transportation are not impacted as the ones that have multiple different cars and they have to go and buy gas and then take care of those vehicles, and also they finance, right? And the interest rates that's going on with financing cars. Our lifestyles are directly tied to what we're paying, and some people are not impacted in the same way as others. If you are a person that needs to shop at big box stores and you continue to order Fashion Nova and Temu products, and you continue to finance cars and you have high interest rates and you continue to live life based off of what's being marketed to you, then you are absolutely going to be impacted by what is going on as far as inflation within our economy. 100% you are. You can hedge against it by doing things differently. You can choose to shop and buy American. You can choose to not buy and finance and use Klarna for things that you don't need in order to impress people that don't even care about you. But that's a personal choice. And so I would suggest, shout out to you, ODV, I would suggest that we make different decisions in our lifestyle. This is an opportunity not only for us to capitalize on what's going on inside of the stock market and our cultural norms and all of that, but this is also an opportunity for people to change how they look at the way that they live their life, the products that they consume, the things that they put in their body, and whether or not they actually need to change their habits. Everything can be a blessing depending on how you look at it. Everything can be an opportunity depending on how you seize it. You don't have to buy a foreign vehicle. Automakers are forced to put on the front of whatever that sticker is on their car to tell you how many of your parts are made inside of the United States of America, how many are made in Mexico, how many are made in Canada, how many are coming from outside of the United States of America. Because we choose not to actually read, then we're making an uninformed decision. Guess what? They actually have calls every quarter from every company that is publicly traded, and they tell you exactly what their business conditions is and how they're being impacted by and how they're going to make adjustments so that they can return shareholder value. You are ignorant because you choose to be. You don't buy American because you choose not to buy American. You continue to support other countries that feed into this whole narrative and is against the United States of America as our adversaries because you choose to. You are voluntarily ignorant. You don't have to be. All you have to do is pick up a book, learn how to read, and then look at the information that is being provided to you. We are in an information age. It should not be that difficult for you. Should not be that difficult for you. You don't have to buckle up. All you got to do is make adjustments.
Again, there'll be a transition cost and transition problems, but in the end, it's going to be.
I'll do you one better, Miss.
It's going to be a beautiful thing.
With a stagger.
I'll do you one better, Miss Croce said. You said what gets me is they act as though we don't have engineers and the equipment to make our own parts. I'll do you one better. Most of the technology that they have, they stole it from us. I was looking at the CEO of Uber, and he was talking about how we would spend all of our time and our energy on research and development to roll out new features. Let me see if I can find that. Give me a second. Uber CEO, China. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to show it to you. This is what the Uber CEO was saying about how they steal our technology, they steal our research and development. They go and steal everything that we have, and we still are supporting them, even though they've been ruining American culture and everything for the longest. This is him.
There's no way I could express the frenetic intensity of copying that they would do on everything that we would roll out in China. And it was so epically intense that I basically had a massive amount of respect for their ability to copy what we did. I just couldn't believe it. We would do real hard work. We'd dial it and it would be epic and it would be awesome. We'd roll it out. And then like 2 weeks later, boom, they've got it. A week later, boom, they've got it.
All they do is take everything that we innovate on and they copy it. They're not smarter than us. They don't innovate over us. They're not better than us. The only thing that they do is they wait for us to do it. They go and steal our code. They go and steal our source code. When it came to the semiconductor chips, the thing that was really big when it came to ASML and different things was that it was people that was defecting from these companies and stealing their secrets and then taking it over to China. So they would go and infiltrate other companies, take it over to China so that they can copy it and try to roll it out themselves. The only thing that they've been doing is been rolling it out to the rest of the world. They've been stealing from the world and then reselling it back to them at a discount. That's it. They've been using cheap labor to steal it from the rest of the world and then resell it back to us at a discount, and y'all still stand with them, right? Is that what y'all do? I can't stand when people go on the street and they buy fake bags. I hate fake. I hate fake products. I hate fake watches. I hate fake bags. I hate when y'all selling them on the street from China. I hate it because if you can't afford it, that don't mean that you go and steal it and copy it and then mess up somebody else's bag. You don't steal somebody else's design. You don't go and duplicate it and sell it at a discount. That ain't what you do. You go and buy what you can afford or you just don't get it at all. I hate it with a passion. People stealing other people's stuff and then reselling it at a discount. I hate boosters. I hated boosters when I was young. I hated it. It was absolutely the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Seriously, why would you go and steal somebody else's stuff and then resell it? I don't like the way that, then why if you don't like them so much, then why are you wearing their logos? Why are you trying to wear something that you hate so much just because you can get it at a discount so you can impress people and try to pass it off as real? Go and get the thing that you can afford that's cheaper and don't try to rock out with the thing that you say that you hate.
During 145% tariff on Chinese goods, economists warn things could go from bad to worse if a deal isn't made. Take the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which currently has a retail price of $1,100.
I'm gonna share the CNN version of it also. I think that this will be a great one also. So this is a CNN's evaluation of what's going on with the tariffs
on U.S. goods today from 84% to 125%, and for the first time since this all started, we're actually hearing from the Chinese President Xi Jinping himself. Xi's saying that his nation is, quote unquote, not afraid, and also warning, quote, there are no winners in a trade war, and going against the world will only lead to self-isolation. This after President Trump raised tariffs on Chinese goods even higher, 145% now, as we're all trying to keep track. The White House says they're waiting for China to pick up the phone. China says...
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me look at this really quickly. Peaceful Patron says you talk so big. I don't really understand. Is that peaceful Patron or peaceful patron? Says you talk so big. What does that mean exactly? Explain it to me. I would like to get additional context before I go in. I don't want to just assume. But let's continue.
Says essentially the same thing about the United States. This very clearly showing what a tit for tat looks like, sending markets tumbling Thursday. But President Trump still optimistic when meeting with his cabinet.
We think we're in very good shape. We think we're doing very well. Again, there'll be a transition cost and transition problems, but in the end, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Stock futures are right now up across the board. Let's see if they stay a beautiful thing today. But what is concerning investors a lot right at the moment, the U.S. dollar falling to its weakest level against the euro in 3 years. CNN's Elena Treen at the White House for us once again. CNN's Mark Stewart, we're not letting him go. He's in Beijing for us. Mark, tell us more about China's counterpunch and what it's going to mean.
Hi, Kate. Good morning. Look, none of this is a surprise. These latest tariffs are very much in the Chinese playbook. But what's very attention-getting to me is the fact that China is now saying it's not going to raise tariffs any higher, saying it has other weapons, almost making fun of the United States for raising the stakes, raising the numbers so high. Let me share with you some remarks we got late today from a government official here in Beijing who said that the United States is engaging in nothing more than a numbers game with no real economic significance, going on to say the United States is exposing itself as a participant in weaponizing tariffs, as a tool of bullying and coercion, turning itself into a joke. So that is the latest where China stands in this back and forth tit for tat. The other big headline of the day is that we are hearing from Chinese President Xi Jinping, really the first time since this whole trade war escalated to such a high level.
Ooh, pulling them out. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell with a barrel in your mouth. Swizzy, bring them out. Yeah, see, now you know. Somebody that's not used to being public as far as their remarks on what it is that they're going to do is now starting to come out, and they're starting to talk to the media, talk to the press, put out information, want to try to explain to you how, listen, this is not going to work. You guys don't need to do this. It's so stupid. You're just making yourself look like fools in front of the world. What are you doing? Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out.
The big headline is that he is saying China is not afraid. These are remarks that were made with the Spanish Prime Minister here in Beijing. And according to state media, he said that China is going to continue to remain confident. It's going to remain focused, saying there are no real winners in the trade war. Kate, the language that we're hearing from Xi Jinping is very consistent with what we've heard from other government officials over the last few days. And as you mentioned, as far as the possibility of a phone call between Xi Jinping and President Trump, not in the near future. That's the messaging that we're feeling from Beijing, at least.
All right. So again, I don't think that our lives are going to be affected even a little bit. I haven't felt any pressure. Profits is up over here at the Millionaire Morning Show, and life is good. So we're going to continue to capitalize. We capitalized significantly over the last maybe week and a half with these U.S. tariffs and how that's impacted the market. I would suggest you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We took out profits. Remember, I told y'all just Wednesday night. What did I tell y'all to do? Take out profits and then go back to dollar cost average. Take out the profits and then go back to dollar cost average. And then, of course, we went over several different companies and then our business philosophy and what it is that we look for and when we invest and so on and so forth. So if y'all want to go and watch that, you're more than welcome to do so. obviously, we were right again. I was right again. And if you did not capitalize off of it, then you are absolutely, positively falling off a cliff and you're messing up your own bag. Again, make sure y'all guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let me go ahead and read these super chats, and then we're going to go on. I want to share with y'all the mindset of the people that's inside of China doing business. No excuses, Lifestyle Rocky K says, what up, AD? It's been a while since I super chatted. I've been busy and very active as a bag chaser. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you, No Excuses. Listen, I know you be rocking out with me. You ain't always got to say something. Rufus Emmanuel says, happy birthday, Anton, showing love for Madison, Wisconsin. I love Madison, Wisconsin. Carrington Love Jr. says, women are more unrelenting than men. The girl I've been dating is rough. She made it to corporate America, but got that hood devil in her. Carrington, why are you dating her? Carrington, why are you dating a woman that got that hood devil in her? Why are you dating a woman that got the hood devil in her, Carrington? Stop dealing with her. What is wrong with you? He said she got that hood devil in her. Jason Sharp says, happy birthday, stay sharp. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. Courtney Egger Show says, happy early birthday, fam. Appreciate all of the game that you drop. If you get a chance, we'll love your thoughts on the Courtney Egger Show. Much respect. Yep, I'm going to come over and check it out. I try to always make it a priority to go and check out the people that rock out with me. Mythology Noir says, lowering tariffs in Europe and doubling them on China. We are at a time where the designer knockoff will cost more than a designer original. Will they love Trump then? Shout out to you. Key says, Numbers 6:24-26. Happy birthday, AD. May the Lord bless you with many more. I appreciate you. Many, many more, he says. Asia says, happy birthday, stay blessed. Thank you, love. Juju says, prove to us your shirt is not made in China, AD. You want me to take my shirt off? What is wrong with y'all? So you want me to get naked for you? Or maybe you just want to see this D. You know what I'm saying? Are they trying to get me to show the D? So America is Samsung and China is Apple, says my dog Spaces. David Yeti says, happy birthday, AD, and thanks for helping me grow to 100,000 in 2024. I love it. I'm studying to move from sales to cloud engineering in June. Will you consider me for a coaching call? I will listen. Send me an email at AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. Rich Steve says, China getting smoked out. Next, America going to tell everybody else not to deal with China or else. I bet you that's a part of what's happening at the negotiating table. I believe that's what's happening at the negotiating table. You said don't do it. I could do it. I'm working from home today, so I don't mind taking my pants down. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'm going on tour. The I Choose You. Listen, by the time that summer hit, I Choose You tour is going to be bigger than ever. And I am going to be showing people's ladies whether or not I bought my shirt in China and whether I bought my pants from Japan. Happy birthday, Anton. Today is my birthday. All is well. Shout out to Cuddy. Cuddy, I will tell you this. Do you know the Source by K? Why you no? I gotta show them. They asked me to show them, Source. They asked me to show them. Listen. I would have you to know, for everybody whose birthday is on April 11th, that my spiritual birthday is April 11th. That is correct. You wouldn't know it by the way that I'm talking on this show today, but I was saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. And speaking in other tongues as the Spirit of God give utterance on April 11th. That is my spiritual birthday. 2 days before my regular birthday. Ain't that crazy? Yes. I was saved on April 11th. I'm still trying to figure it out though, because I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour. Yes, I am. And I'm going to show her if my shirt was made in China. All right. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Chinese businesses. There have been leaks from different businesses on what is going on over in China, and I want to share that with you guys today. All right? Because we only get to hear it from one side. We don't get to hear it from the other side to see what the other people are going through and whether or not they suffering or what's happening out here, all right? So I figured I'd source through some of the videos that y'all been sending me in my email, and that I would actually show you guys and present that to you guys, because they like to censor things over in China and they don't necessarily want it to get out, and they trying to prevent y'all from seeing what's really happening and stuff like that. So I figured, why not just go ahead and share with you guys exactly what's going on over there. This is what's going on.
Last month, I took an order for a batch of copper parts. I've already bought all the materials. It cost tens of thousands, and everything has been cut, ground, washed, and engraved. It's not finished yet, but today the customer messaged me and said the delivery might be delayed. After customs clearance, the taxes have gone up too much. A TikToker who works as a bulk trade supplier shared in his video the huge pressure he's under after the sudden increase in U.S. tariffs.
订单量5000多万美金，今年我们订单已经排到了26年的5月份。
Our orders are worth over $50 million US. This year, we're already booked through May 2026. But with this 30% tariff hike, the impact on us is huge.
Well, you can go ahead and ratchet that up to like 125 to 145%. Listen, did you hear what they just said? Their orders to the United States of America is over $50 million. Think about that for a second. Y'all can't get nobody to support your little dinner business and get 10 orders on a Friday so that you can deliver it to their plant on a Friday. Y'all can't get nobody to support your little small business. Your family be like, no, remember what she said to me on last Thanksgiving? Remember what she said to me on last Thanksgiving? Y'all can't get nobody to support your businesses, and you got a little startup, and all you ask them is to repost it on Instagram. You ask them to repost your business and put it out there for the people to see on Instagram, and they won't even give you no kind of love whatsoever. But guess what they're gonna do? Order all of their fake shoes from China, and then you know how they flood them. Y'all want me to tell y'all how they get y'all? They get y'all to sell it. China, they are good. I have to give them some credit. They are good. They get y'all to sell their products here in the United States of America. You know how they get y'all to sell their products? TikTok, Fashion Nova, sponsorships. Y'all be on TikTok hustling. You see this? Yeah, this is the same type of watch that they had over at that other company. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, do some of the same things, missing a couple buttons here and there. But listen, you order this watch today, you can get it for $9.99. If you order 10 of them, you can get it for $9.98 a piece. All right? Same as those other guys, but just order it today and we'll have it shipped out to you tomorrow. That's all they do on TikTok. TikTok shop is full of Chinese products, selling it to y'all, and they gave y'all pennies for what it is that they selling it for, and then you think of yourself as an influencer because you've been selling all of this stuff on TikTok shop. For every dollar you make, you give 40 to them. Yep, Fashion Nova. You got all of these influencers, all of these women that said that they IG models. Fashion Nova, Fashion Nova. Sheen, I got a Sheen sponsorship. They give you $30, and then you over there, you sell them a whole bunch, and you give all of your money over to them. And they got a whole bunch of child laborers and people over there that's making $1 a day, making all of the products so they can ship it to you. Listen, they care so little about the products, and it's such it ain't even tripping for them that if they have a return, they don't even take the return back. They just tell you to throw it away. If you get a return, listen. If you get a return, they tell you to throw it away. Or if you send it back, they don't even send it back to the manufacturer. They able to take the L. They just call it shrinkage. That's what they call it. They call it shrinkage. That's how much they think of their products when they send it to you. If you don't like it and you want a refund, you can send it back and then they're going to throw it away. Or what they'll do is they'll package it up. I shouldn't be giving y'all all of this game. They're going to package it up, and all of the little fake products, all the little trash products or whatever, they're going to do an Amazon haul, or they're going to do a haul on some of these other sites. And so then you can basically go and purchase a pallet. Yes. Listen, it's a gajillion ways to make money. If you know, you know. And I don't think that anybody should be broke inside of the United States of America. If you broke inside of the United States of America, that's a you problem. That ain't the economy. It ain't the jobs. It means that you don't actually do the work and you don't have work ethic and you waiting to just sit at somebody's desk and put on a headset and answer a call and say, may I help you? You go through your little Salesforce products and you feel like the government is supposed to. Bro, it's 1,000 different ways for you to make money. So then they return the stuff, and the stuff that's returned, instead of burning it up, what the companies then do is that they package them all on the pallet, they shrink wrap them, and then you go and purchase the pallet for cheap, and then you take that same product that people return, and then you list it individually. You break it down individually. You sell it on eBay. You sell it on all these different sites. You sell it on Facebook Marketplace. You go on TikTok Shop. You start your own website. You do all of this stuff. And so that's how they then finesse and break down the product. It's just like the dope game. It's just like the dope game. You can buy a pound. You can buy an ounce. You can buy a key. You can buy a quarter key. And then what you do is you go and chop it up. You break it down, you sell it as individual, you sell it individuals, or you get somebody to move the product for you. And if you're really good and you got enough money, you can start to become a wholesaler, right? And you move from consignment to actually purchasing your own product, and then you move from your own product over to actually getting the keys, and then you break it down and you sell it in ounces. You become the distributor, and then that's how you continue to move up in the ranks and you run it up. But along the way, you got to take some losses. Right? You're going to have a raid van come and stop it in. You're going to have some people that go and get arrested. You're going to have some snitches. You're going to have to bail some people out. You got to put some money up for lawyer fees, all of that type of stuff. And so we call that shrinkage. That is shrinkage. That's shrinkage. Right? Your distributors, your supplier, he might get knocked, and then you trying to figure out who the plug is, so you might have to buy the product, spend a little bit more money for a weaker product from a competitor over there. That's what we call shrinkage. And so then your margins shrink. And so when I see these black guys that's in the street selling all of this dope and moving all of this junk into the community with the high risk, trying to do 25 to life, I say, bro, you're doing the same thing that somebody else is doing, except for they ain't got to worry about looking over their shoulder and whether or not they're going to get arrested. You're doing the same thing that they doing over here, except for they got a box truck and they picking up pallets, and then you over here taking penitentiary chances. But it's so many different ways to make money without you going and putting your life on the line and putting your freedom on the line. And so now you see Chinese people over here getting impacted, and they are complaining about the fact that the tariffs is running them out of business, but this is largely being suppressed and censored. Largely being suppressed and censored. And they don't want this to get out, because then that would mean that you guys know that we are actually doing the right thing for Americans by no longer making everybody else rich and starting to figure out how we can then pivot and capitalize off of the market ourselves.
If you're a small startup, it's not such a big deal because you don't ship enough to fill an entire container. But for us, it hits hard. Our profit margins in bulk trading are already razor thin. Now with a 34% tariff, it's like getting knocked to the ground.
He said the only thing he can do for now is wait. His backup plan is to ship through third-party warehouses in other countries. That's the only way forward.
That's the way that Chinese get around. And this is also another reason why Trump is feeling compelled to make sure that he tariff other countries. Why do you think that we having a trade war with Mexico? It's not just because of immigrants. We can solve for that problem. Make them pay for it. Mexico is not going to trip about it. They're going to take their L and they're going to take their knock and they're going to keep it moving, right? Why do you think that we're having a problem with Mexico? You think our problem with Mexico is because of the oranges that they shipping in from here? You think we care about their avocados and they lemons that come up from Mexico? Man, we don't give a F about no lemons that's coming in from Mexico. We care about two things. We care about the fact that they are allowing for other countries to ship drugs up through Mexico into the United States of America. And we also care about the fact that they're being used by China from their relationship because Mexico is so desperate for innovation in industry because they don't necessarily make anything inside of Mexico. And so they have to become dependent on outside investments to then be able to use them to get past whatever tariffs that we're putting on China, right? So then China use other countries and they say, hey, listen, America's out here making it difficult for us. So let me call you and make sure that we build up our relationship. And so what we going to do is we going to ship it to you and then we going to use you in order to continue to flood the American market with products that's not good for their consumers. And y'all fall hook, line, and sinker because you don't understand how things is working. You don't understand international trade. You don't understand commerce. You don't understand any of this, right? And so what they're doing is they're using other places to then ship in cheap products, and that's why they have to bolster their relationship with the rest of the world. You think that China care anything but about anywhere except for China? What, you think that China, who censors their own people and send their own people inside of camps so that they can recondition their mind, you think that they then have more compassion for the rest of the world? You think that China care about us? No, they care about our money and how our money is being used in order to continue to build up their infrastructure and then subsidize their economy because their real estate market is trash. And so they go through other countries, which is one of the reasons why they're calling other countries, because they don't want to seem weak in this national trade war, because it would weaken their position with other countries. And that's why Trump has to also individually, each country, you cannot put a blanket tariff or a blanket amount on every country and say, okay, well, this is it. This is why individually he wants every country to fly into the United States of America and negotiate with the United States on how they can handle it, because each country has to have different stipulations depending on what their relationship is with the rest of the world, including China. But this is the part that the news don't have time to come and tell you about. This is what the producers is not writing inside of the cue cards that they're giving to all of their pundits. That is nothing but, all of the pundits is plants. They just a face with makeup on it, with nice hair. They not educated. They don't know a whole bunch. The people that's doing these interviews, they're asking questions based off of what the producers or what the network is telling them to do. They're not telling you what the truth is. The truth is that international relationships is not a one-on-one. Everything is interconnected. So if we don't control what's happening over there, and they're able to infiltrate, but they're able to still send their products inside of the United States of America, for all of these pink-haired, stupid liberals that's out here walking around protesting what Trump is doing, they truly don't understand what's going on. They have no clue. They're walking around believing AOC and Jasmine Crockett, and we're going to get to Bernie Sanders and Jasmine Crockett a little bit later into the show. They're walking around, oh my God, we stand with China, we stand with Mexico. Don't even know you a fool. You a fool out of ignorance and don't have no clue that we over here getting finessed. And it's so easy for you to just believe anything that the liberal media and Rachel Maddow and Tiffany Cross and Don Lemon, And you think this is a black thing. This is a racism thing. This is Trump don't only care about his buddies. Surface level. Surface level. Don't got an effing clue what they left is from their right. And everything they do is based off of their emotions and what somebody else is telling them because they have no clue what's going on around the world. No effing clue. So stupid. They'll sit here and protest and burn down their own buildings against their own demise just so they can make somebody else a world power through other countries because they support everybody else and they not America first. If only I could wake my people up. If only I can wake them up. If only I could just snap them out of the matrix. And it doesn't matter how easily you explain it. It don't matter how much it makes sense. It's all just planting the seeds because they never gonna overtly tell you, you know what? I've been messed up. And trust me, listen, I was messed up too. I used to think the same way that you think. I was operating out of ignorance. And I was on my liberal game and I was voting Democrat and I was a part of the same party that you was. But once I woke up my eyes, I couldn't unsee it. You can't plug me back into the matrix because I know too much. I know too much. I know too much. I can't unsee what I already saw because I'm already familiar on how we get finessed. You can't force me to believe that I'm doing the right thing by allowing ourselves to get finessed. I can't. I just can't see it. I can't see it. It's almost like, it's like food, right? You don't really want to go back into that kitchen. You just want to sit at your table and you want to order your food and you want to believe that they're washing their hands and that they're taking care of business and they don't have no rats or mice or roaches and that they actually clean up the tables and everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. And after he got done doing a number 2, actually he did a number 3. He did a 1 plus a 2. He did a 3 inside of the bathroom. You want to believe that he washed his hands and he's using gloves and that the health department is doing what they're supposed to do in order to inspect this facility and this establishment. And when you get your food, it's not undercooked and it doesn't have salmonella poisoning and everything is great. You want to believe it. You don't want to look behind the curtain. You are not interested in going behind the wall to see what is happening in there. You just want to believe it. You just want to believe it. There's no way in the world I want to leave. I want to look behind the scenes and see what's happening in that kitchen. No way. But the minute that you see it, you can't unsee it. You cannot unsee it. Now, everybody is going to get evaluated based off of the same standard that I've seen because I know too much. I know too much. I know too much. I seen it. I seen what was behind the curtain. I didn't like it. It bothers me. And so now I got a different standard on the type of restaurants that I go to. Easy to not see it. It's easy to not see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to wake the people up. I'm trying to tell them what's going on. I'm going to leave it on the floor. I'm going to leave it all on the floor. Before I die, before my time up on this earth, I'm going to leave it all on the floor. Whatever decision that you make, once you get all of the information, is up to you. But you're not going to be able to say that you didn't know. You're not going to be able to say that you didn't know. All right? Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Am I cooking on a Friday or am I I'm working for y'all on a Friday. Shout out to the more than 4,000 people that's in here on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. Denise L. Martinez says 3 pharmaceutical manufacturers from PR moved to China, closed 2 factories of shoes. We lost thousands of jobs, plus they brought in illegals to run the farms. Bill Clinton's hand in it. Talk about it, Denise. Talk about it, D. I'm going to call you D. Shout out to you, baby. Queen Nisi says, my brother, continue talking big, especially when you're serving a big God. Continue to do great things, man of God. Hey, Queen. What's up, Queen? I'm going on tour this summer. N. Patterson says, happy birthday. I wish you many more. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Birthday on Sunday, April 13th. Shout out to the Aries gang. Happy birthday, AD. Blessings to you, says the manager. Look at all of these beautiful ladies. Let me see what's going on here. We going on tour this summer? Hey, the manager, I'm expecting to see you at my first meetup. We going on tour this summer. The name of the tour is called I Choose You Too. All right. The name of the tour. Yo, we got some beautiful ladies that watch the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm not even gonna cap. Shout out to the manager. Managing, keep on managing. BKMs with the 140s says, happy birthday, AD from South. Shout out to my South Africans in the building. Timeout says, Anton, don't tell us you are celebrating your birthday like the ladies do for a whole month. Happy born day. Oh, Isaiah Hunter said, what up, though? 392Q says, and them Chinese products break after 3 days, and you ain't got no replacement for it either. I made $30,000 from the heater pallet. See? Told you. This is the Detroit Player Talk. What up, DB87602 in the building? Reginald Green says, come on now, AD. Can't be giving up the game. I buy truckloads and resell it on the marketplace and crazy. All right. I'm going to be quiet. But I'm just telling y'all, there's a whole lot of ways to make. I will never go broke. I'm going to always be rich for the rest of my life. Did you just turn the Millionaire Morning Show on a weight moving mastermind? Mr. Martinez, what up, though? Happy birthday, big bro. Forever rocking with you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, Mr. Martinez. Listen, man, thank you for the 100 ball. I appreciate you. Thank you. I do love you. I love you. K Montana says, it's funny how all of the other countries was acting like we not scared of U.S. tariffs not long after they folded. China won't be different. Christian Hutchinson says, do you want the world through Washington, D.C., London, Paris, and Beijing? Or if you have been to Beijing, you know this answer. Shout out to my dog. Go ask a Chinese person in the United States of America or Canada what they think about the CCP and President Xi. They left for a reason. Facts. Chig Z says, AD, you can't wake people up who are comfortable sleeping. I have been trying to wake people up for some time, but I give it up now. Just going to worry about myself. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I figure as long as we on the internet and as long as we on this, as long as we on the Millionaire Morning Show, I might as well get the people the game. Michelle says, happy birthday. Enjoy your day. I watch daily, but never get to watch live. God bless you. Bag chaser for life. Shout out to Michelle. Or Michelle. I want to see you at the meetup. Pierre in the building says the Democrat plantation is a hell of a drug. It's all emotions over substance. Victim mentality, race baiting, and being a brokey. Run up the bag, AD. I'm on it, big dog. Appreciate you. There's a difference between AD and Clay. Is there a difference between, it's Juju again. Is there a difference between AD and Clinton Bigsby? I don't know. That's for you to evaluate. Hey, Juju. With the Obama shirt on, facing, what is that, New York City or Chicago? You know it don't cost you nothing to be able to not hate, right? You know you can just get money and be happy with yourself. Yo, and shout out to everybody that pay me to hold me accountable. I appreciate it. Happy birthday, big dog. Proceeds for the couch sanitation. Now, listen, I have cleaners that come through and make sure that everything is what they need to do. Morning, AD, did you truly mean it when you said you believe in hoes on after hours? What did you... We got to save after hour conversations for after hours. Says, Moses King says, did you truly mean it when you said you believe in hoes on after hours, or what did you mean by that? You got to have more context. We talked a lot about hoes last night. All right. Christopher Mayberry says, AD, will we see you in a fur coat and a fur hat on tour? Rest in peace. Only in the wintertime. I'm wearing chinchillas this next winter. Next winter that come up is all chinchillas. Carolina's own DJ K Smooth and Gators says, Good day, brother AD, and happy solar return. Thank you, my friend. Been crazy busy, but I keep up with your work. Proud of you. Thanks for helping those who take heed and the best version of themselves. I appreciate you, Carolina's own DJ K Smooth. Oh my God, look at my girlfriend. Y'all know this is my girlfriend, right? Happy birthday, El Gran Hombre, Papi Chulo, AD. I love it when they talk to me like that. I just wish I could hear it from them. You know what? I think I'm about to go to DC. Maybe I'll go to DC next weekend. I think I want to go to DC. You know, they treat me right over in the DMV. You know what I'm saying? National Harbor. Got the good view. I think I'm going to head over to DC next weekend. Go and see what my homegirl Mika talking about. Rashad says you will not go broke by all of these super chats and Patreons. AR Smitty says rocking Big Mike partner on the t-shirt is... Y'all wow. Y'all are wow. Y'all are crazy. My dog Slimmy. Slimmy is in the building, y'all. Shout out to Slimmy. Slimmy's birthday was yesterday, y'all. Slimmy says this tour is out of control. Where's HR? Oh, Slimmy, you're gonna be my co-host for the tour. Yeah, Slimmy gonna be my co-host. Carrie, come file a complaint on the CEO of the network ASAP. Happy early birthday. My dog Aries is in the building. What up, Slimmy? Logic 804 says, happy birthday, love the content, you are appreciated. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Y'all can catch Slimmy on the show tonight, along with all of my friends and family. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I think I might go to DC next weekend just to see what they talking about out there in these streets. They love me in DC. Maybe not next weekend or weekend after that. Not next weekend. Oh, no, because the next weekend, yeah, the weekend after next. I might go that weekend. Got some business to take care of here in the United States of America. Yeah. All right, y'all. Several news outlets, including Fox News, is saying that they are lining up. Let me make sure I change it to the YouTube Premium account because I don't want y'all sitting there worried about it, acting like Time Dog not taking care of his business and doing what he's supposed to do. They say that all of these countries are lining up for tariff meetings for Trump. And then I want to talk about what you can anticipate seeing with that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what's happening.
All right, now to a Fox News alert. Trade tensions escalating overnight as Beijing announces a 125% tariff on U.S. imports. That's up from 84%. After the White House says tariffs on China are now at 145%.
If you thought even for a second, that Trump was going to just sit by and say, you know what? We cool, we chilling, we not trying to escalate a trade war, we not tripping off China. The minute that China raised it up to 125%, Trump said 145. He went one, and in his first term, 145, 145, 145, 145, 145, 145. Hey, do Cleveland got any good skating rinks? I think I might hit Cleveland on a skating rink next weekend or something like that before I head over to DC. Man, I'm going everywhere. I'm going to try almost every weekend or at least twice a month to get to a different city and see what y'all talking about. Do Cleveland got any good skating rinks this weekend? Y'all let me know so I can come in there and tear up that flow. Come over there and tear up that with my Fomax. Tear up the flow over in Cleveland.
So meanwhile, President Trump says he's very close to his first deal.
If you aren't able to reach the deals that you want to see at the end of the 90 days, will you put those higher tariffs in place or will you extend?
Well, that's what would happen. I mean, if we can't make the deal that we want to make or we have to make or that's, good for both parties, it's got to be good for both parties. And then we go back to where we were.
Go back to the numbers that you announced last week?
I think so.
Wouldn't extend the pause?
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, here to explain what those next 90 days will be like is U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. Jamieson, first off, your take on what we woke up to today, upping the retaliatory tariffs on America to over 100%. Your reaction?
Well, good morning. I would say that the Chinese reaction this morning is not terribly surprising, but certainly unfortunate. No one else has retaliated against these reciprocal tariffs yet. China got out ahead and decided to do it, and that's why they're in a different category than the rest at this point.
Jameson, I know you've already talked to some countries and you're planning on talking to some today. Can you tell our audience which ones?
Certainly. In fact, right after I'm done with this TV spot, I'm going to be speaking with my counterpart in Israel. Over the last 2 days, I had a long discussion with the Vietnamese. We're speaking with the Taiwanese later today as well. I have a full dance card.
Yeah.
Vietnamese, Taiwanese. I like all of the E's. I like the ladies. Everything that got an E's in it, that seems to work for me. Give me all of the E's. I want all E's. Vietnamese, Taiwanese, ladies, Europeans. Everything except Chinese. Chinese ain't playing ball. They acting a little extra. Do you know that one of the most submissive women that I've ever run into in my entire life, and I don't know if y'all know, fellas, but y'all really, really, really need to open up your palate if these women are not acting right. And don't worry, we're going to get back to the tariffs. But some of the titties, somebody said the titties, the booties. Hey, J. Ben, hold on, big dog. Let me say something. There was a woman that was leaving after hours tonight. They said, all right, J. Ben, with your cute, handsome self. I said, what's going on inside of my chat? Let me go inside of my Discord and find out that y'all done created another thread that got something to do with linking up with each other. Let me find out. No, not herpes. We're going to leave the E's on the herpes alone. We don't like those E's. Not all of the E's, all right? Only y'all would come up with something like that. But no, some of the most submissive woman that I've ever met in my entire life was a Japanese woman. Crazy. But they was just like everybody else because she hated her husband. But the most submissive woman that I've ever seen in my entire life was a Japanese woman. It was insane. Insane. I said, what? Y'all acting crazy over there? Couldn't even speak full English. Had halfway broken English, but was like, oh no, we love you, my love. I said, I see why I show speed is over there in all of those other countries trying to see what's going on.
So I guess, Representative, a lot of questions, the big question on Americans' mind, they're on board when it comes to knowing that China is a threat and they steal a lot of stuff from us. Is there a plan to make up the difference for some of those businesses that are going to be hit hard by this trade war?
Well, certainly. And part of the reason we're doing negotiations is to achieve more fair and balanced and reciprocal trade with other nations. And part of this means opening up their export markets. As we all know, there have been so many barriers to U.S. products in foreign markets for many years, whether it's tariffs or non-tariff barriers or other things like that. And so as we're meeting with these countries every day, we're talking about ways where we can have more U.S. exports and give our producers alternative markets to China in addition to China.
All right, so when we look at China, tell me if these numbers line up with your numbers. We get 73% of our smartphones, 78% of our laptops, 87% of our video game consoles, 77% of our toys from China. If those numbers are correct, the marketplace is going to get severely hit by these tariffs.
So I understand that we do import a lot from China, and that actually, to me, underscores the urgency of the situation. We've become so dependent on this. That being said, many of our large companies dealing in hardware and consumer electronics have been diversifying over the past few years to Vietnam, to India, to Mexico, to Korea, to elsewhere. And those are the kind of trends we need to see to help diversify that production so that can help out American consumers and American companies.
But in the meantime, they say it's going to cost the American household $4,800. What do you say to those households?
Well, first of all, I would say with respect to those projections, a lot of those are Wall Street analysts who have a lot to lose themselves. In the first term, we put a lot of tariffs on China, and we saw similar predictions. Those ended up being wrong. Inflation went down. Yep. I think the economic fundamentals of our country are still very, very good. And while there may be an adjustment, I think we're going to be on a good path, and I don't think we're going to see that level of increase in household expenses.
Yeah, I know a
Looks
lot of
like
countries.
y'all might have to put the Nintendos down and go and actually make some money and get out here and get to the streets. You know, you don't have to go and buy the new Nintendo Switch, right? You don't have to buy the new Nintendo Switch. It's not a requirement. You know, you don't have to buy cars that make the majority of their products in China. You can't. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm thinking about going out to the Lincoln dealership because I love Ford, and I'm thinking about going to check out and buy me possibly a new Navigator this weekend. Thinking about going to buy me a new Navigator. Now, it doesn't make sense for me to buy a new Navigator because I don't know. I mean, how many more cars do you need? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Just going just because. Maybe I'll make it a birthday gift to myself. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just go and buy another watch. Who knows? But you like my white truck? I like the white truck too, Jordan. I like the white truck too. Somebody says, but also, Anton, you buy cars and tech stuff you don't need either. Not when I didn't have it to buy. I'm not the one that's complaining about the cost of goods and services. When I was in the position where I was building, I held back. That's why I always tell people, hey, hold it down for the first 5 to 10 years of when you actually taking your journey so that you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. Absolutely. I went and visited Mexico last week. And then I'm going to go and visit DC. And then I'm going to go and visit New York. And then I'm going to go and visit other places. And I'm going to go and visit Miami again, so on and so forth. 100%. That's because I'm rich. You can't hold me to the same standards as everybody else because I did my time. I'm 43, right? I made the sacrifices and stayed home. I wasn't traveling and doing all of the things that everybody else is doing. I sat tight, worked on my business, stayed low key, minimized the amount that I was paying in personal expenses, stayed in the complex that my father at the time was the head of maintenance so that I could stay there for free. I didn't start breaking out and spending money until I was rich, until I had gotten to the point to where I could retire and not have to worry about money anymore. Daughter's college is funded, real estate was booming, everything was continuing to rock out. Then I have the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it. You can't hold people that got resources to the same standard. I made the sacrifice. I hunkered down. I moved back into my mom's basement. I stayed low-key for a long time. I worked my way up through corporate America. I opened up and I built my businesses. I hustle. I still hustle. And you know what the worst part about it is? I actually work and hustle harder than people that don't even got no money. It be people in the chat criticizing me for how much they see me. And they don't even understand that I'm outworking you. I am how you gonna let a dude that is richer than you outwork you? They sat there and complained and said, Anton got all of these businesses, and he online, and he do content creation, and he got 3 and 4 channels. Why is he still working in corporate America? Because I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. It ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. Now, I just want to love ya and be who I am. I'm a hustler, baby. I can sell water to a whale. That's what I do. That's my gift. I'm going to be working and I'm going to be hustling for the rest of my life because I love the game. If you love the game and this is what you do, this is what you do. I just want to love ya and be who I am. Now give it to me. Give me that funk, that sweet, that nash, that gushy stuff. I'm a hustler, baby.
Trees are still at 10%. So many of those products maybe we can buy from other countries. What do the next 90 days look like?
Sure, I'm happy to give you some detail on this. So my office, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, I have hundreds of people. They're split up according to regional areas, and they're working around the clock with their counterparts at the staff level. And there are pieces of paper going back and forth as countries come in and make suggestions about what they can do to have more reciprocal trade with with us. And we're looking at those, we're reviewing those, we're communicating with them and giving them ideas.
Somebody said he's a YouTube hustler. That's fair. What type of hustler is you working at the call center? Let me see something. And with all this care, let's say here, YouTube hustler. All right, that's not right. Why am I being criticized for being a YouTube hustler? Let me see something really quickly. That was what YouTube sent me last month from 2 channels. I don't want to get too far into it. Let's get back into the show. I don't want nobody criticizing me for how much I work online. I don't want that. I don't want no smoke. I don't want none of that. I don't want nobody sitting here telling me, oh man, then why you on the internet all day? Nigga, why ain't you on the internet all day? Why? He's a YouTube hustler. Facts. Don't kill me. Don't hurt me with a good time. Don't hurt me with a good time. Why is Anton on the internet? What do you mean why I'm on the internet? Because this is what I do for a living now, baby. This is what I do.
Point where the president can close these deals. He can negotiate, and if there's a deal that's good, he can consider taking it, and if not, then he'll have the tariff. But that's what we're doing over the next 90 days. We've been doing it for weeks, and we're doing it today, and we'll just keep doing it.
Mr. Representative, the president has said, keep calm, don't get yippy. You seem like a calm guy yourself, but what do you tell the American people that are on your side?
And as a matter of fact, I will tell you all this.
They are.
I just did a live stream, not this week, but the past week, where I gave out all of the secrets. I show them all of my deposits. I give them the game. I show them exactly how it is that I do things. I give them my strategy. I show them how it is that I monetize YouTube, why I make more and keep more, what my business philosophy is, how I keep overhead low, who I hire, who I put into place, what I do for different platforms, why I separate things. And I don't even see, that's the worst part about it. I don't even gatekeep. I give out the game for free, and it's already people that are capitalizing on it. You know how Classy Beats always send him gifts, and he'd be like, Anton, I love it. Don't you know that, bro, I will tell you this. Your favorite content creators are my bag chasers. Some of the biggest content creators are my bag chasers. It's a fact. It's a fact. Let's continue. I want to talk about tariffs.
I'm a little scared because they see everything in their house and they look at the label and it says made in China.
Yes, there's a story from a couple of years ago. One of my kids one day looked at me and said, Dad, why does everything say made in China? They must be so busy over there. And they're exactly right. But again, this has been a bipartisan approach for the past almost 8 years at this point, that we need to diversify from China and be able to source from other countries. And so I'm obviously sensitive to the needs of households and what we're seeing, but we've been put in a position and a point of emergency, frankly, where if we can only maintain our standard of living by being dependent on China, who is a strategic adversary, that's a very dangerous position to be in. And so we need to accelerate this.
What did you learn from the phase 1 deal last time, which they didn't keep to, and it wasn't enforced? Does that make you worry about cutting any deal with China in the long run?
Well, my sense is that the Chinese are pragmatic. I learned to have a deep respect for them. They're very serious. They understand power and realpolitik in the international arena. When we did the phase 1 deal in the first couple of years, where the Trump administration was still there, we actually were able to enforce it. They bought more ag products from us in 2020 and then even 2021 than they had done in history. So it is a matter of enforcement. And I think if there's mutual understanding, mutual respect, and a real agreement, you can actually move the ball forward.
I got you, Chris.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Phenomenal interview with them. I think that it's going to be trade deals that is announced next week. Obviously, I'm going to stay on top of it because that is what I do. Let me go ahead and answer some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Here, let's do this. Shadow Dragon TV says, happy birthday, big dog. I first discovered you on TLA stream. Shout out to my dog. Lead attorney says, when you were grilling that weirdo, and it's been dope seeing you grow ever since. Appreciate all that you do for us. Blessings and safety always. Thank you, Shadow Dragon TV, for rocking with me, big dog. Lakeisha, are you with me? Happy birthday, AD. I watch the Millionaire Morning Show daily. Enjoy your new year. Thank you, Keisha. I can't wait to meet you. Executive Suite MLE says, happy birthday, bro. Shout out to my New York brethren. MLE, the exec in the building, says, happy birthday, bro. April Diamonds. My birthday is the 21st. I'll catch you at the meetup. We fixing binds this summer. All summer long. Shout out to my New York brethren. Nasheed says, happy birthday, Anton. Get some extra scratch. Should I pay down the debt or invest in some stocks? Pay off the debt. Be vigilant in paying off your debt. Abe the Hunter says, happy birthday, AD. Enjoy your day, bro. Thank you, Abe. Mr. Joe says, Collin County DA announced Carmelo Anthony will not face a death penalty or life in prison without parole per SCOTUS case Roper versus Simmons. Good for him. I don't want him to face a death penalty, and I don't want him to ever go to jail with life without parole. It's unfortunate that he found himself in a situation. I think that he's going to have to pay for this, but I don't want him to have to face a death penalty, and I do not want him to have life without parole. Casual Germ says, pretty sure what's happening with China is how World War II started with Japan. Anyways, happy birthday. Salute to teaching your child about business law at an early age. Yeah. Juju, shout out to Juju with the Obama jacket on. Says, Trump, alleged author, art of the deal, blink first. Listen, fam, you're going to have to put some space in between your commas, man. Bless you. God bless you, though. Abundance Mind says the DMV is where I'm at. Let me know. I'm out there. Queen. What up, Queen? Says, happy born day, Mr. Daniels. Shout out to you. Thank you, Queen Weechi in the building. Joe Smooth. What up, though? Leslie Williams says, just had to hit you up and say happy birthday. What up, Leslie? Carmela Ellis says, get in the bag and listening to my favorite YouTube channel, The Millionaire Morning Show. I love you too, Carmela. I love you too, baby. Joe Smooth says, happy B-Day, my brother. How many black folks are going to allow Jasmine Crockett lead them to hell? Well, we going to talk about Jasmine Crockett next. It's crazy that you just said that. I remember growing up in South Africa playing with face bricks, pretending it was a car, says Sifo. Chris Mayberry says, have you seen The Land Dweller from Rolex? No, what is The Land Dweller? Let me see this. Is this a new model? This kind of got a AP feel to it. This kind of got a Patek Philippe AP feel to it. With the square of the actual bezel on the band. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. Oh, snap. They got the gold joint? That's probably about 100 grand. That looks gorgeous. With the fluted bezel. I got to get it. I got to see it. I got to see it in person. I got to see it in person. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't even know that this was out. Didn't even know it was out. I got to see it, bro. AD is too materialistic. That's why your girl don't like you, because you're not materialistic enough. You stingy. You stingy. Somebody said rose gold is ugly. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Rose gold ain't never been ugly. It is gorgeous. That's why y'all girl don't love y'all, because you stingy. You so stingy. You so stingy. You too materialistic. Keep on having your girl eat ramen noodles every day. Keep on having your girl eat ramen noodles every day. So stingy. You just so, that little dusty Obama Nike hoodie that you got on. I don't like stingy. Rebuke poverty. Rebuke poverty from around us, Lord. We don't like poverty. We don't like stinginess. We don't like top ramen no more. We don't like none of that. Get it from around us. Don't rebuke stinginess from around us and dustiness. We don't like that. We don't like it at all. Let me read some more of these super chats. Shout out to my friends. Ugh. Just make me. You know what I'm saying? Zach says, make no mistake, we really don't get any Chinese products from China, but American products made in China, you will never see Chinese brands in stores. Yeah, they rebranded. You petty as hell. Yeah, we being petty this Friday, Jax. We being petty. Shout out to Rashad. I appreciate you, Rashad J. Chris, my dog. What up, Chris? Got a phenomenal channel. Actually, he has multiple channels, and he has a phenomenal Instagram. Shout out to Chris Basio, says, where can we find that live stream showing how to do YouTube like you? Long-time supporter. Shout out to my dog, Chris. It's in the Patreon, so let me show you what it looked like. This is a cover photo of it. It is right here. Let me share it with y'all. I share it with y'all really quickly. If you go into the Patreon, this is what it looks like right here. We did it on March 26th, is Content Creator Mastermind Q&A by the numbers. And we was cooking. We cooked, bro. We cooked. And I went through and I showed everything. So it's in the Patreon. It's the second from the top videos that's up there. Is right there, bro. DM me. I'll send it to you, bro. Just DM me on Instagram and I'll send it to you. All right? Shout out to Chris Basio. Dope. Phenomenal content creator. I love him. Happy birthday, AD. Got to be up at 4 a.m. in the morning for work, but can't stop watching your show. I don't get any sleep because y'all have me laughing my butt off. Man, I don't get no sleep either. Tell these cats to better stop playing with the bag chasers. You know what it is, Courtney. Mike Burton says, happy birthday, Anton. Been watching you since KS and Lapeef days. You really took the mantle in another way. Hope you sit on that panel soon. Keep it up, bro. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. On what panel? Steady movement. What's up, cutie? Says, hey, Anton, Stock Club was great. What's the best way to go about paying debt? One day at a time. Dave Ramsey has a phenomenal method, and it's the debt snowball. So usually what you want to do is you want to get some quick wins while you're eliminating the debt. So you got a budget for what you're paying off your credit cards on, but the mistake that a lot of people make is that they spend the equal amount on each credit card and think that they're actually getting rid of the debt. They're not. A lot of times they're going to still pay interest because they're only paying the minimum amount on each card. And so the debt snowball is basically when you roll up, but you pay the minimum amount on all of your cards. You pay the minimum amount on every card, and then the card that has the lowest balance, that is the card that you focus the majority of your biggest payment on, right? And then you snowball it. You don't, once you get rid of that card, you snowball it into the next lowest balance. Some people like to do it based off of the interest rate. I say just do it based off of the lowest balance. You get rid of that, and then you roll that into the next card, including whatever you was paying minimum amount on, right? And so you just keep on snowballing it up. You keep on snowballing it up. And you never, ever use those cards again, as far as, because you don't want to be in a situation to where you're paying interest ever again on money that you already done purchased things on. So you want to do the debt snowball method, where you basically paying a minimum amount for everything that you're paying, and then you basically throw the majority of your payment on whatever the lowest debt is. You eliminate it, you get a quick win. It gives you that dopamine hit, and then you roll it into the next one. All right. So it's phenomenal. Phenomenal method. Chris Mayberry says, I spoke to my jeweler about the gold. It is $100K. I'm getting it. I'm still getting it. Courtney Smith says, Trump had a temporary pause on everyone else's tariffs, but continued to increase China's tariffs. I wouldn't call that a blink. People just talking. You know, when I hear people say the blink, do you know that that's a talking point on the internet? So I know that they just saying whatever it is that the rest of the internet is saying. Point of correction, Supreme. He said Supreme Obama. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe. Supreme Obama, huh? Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Shout out to Just a Girl in America. Says happy birthday. Be safe and blessed beyond. Hey, Just a Brown Girl in America. I plan on seeing you on one of the stops or multiple stops that we go on. All right. So don't you be a stranger either. All right, y'all. Let's move over to the next thing. So my girl, Danny C. Apparently, she had a Congress hearing, or she was a part of a Congress hearing, where she got an opportunity to speak amongst different Congress members and our people that are controlling what goes on in our government and the purse strings and all of that stuff. And she had an opportunity to speak amongst them. Let me switch over to YouTube Premium on this account. We're going to get from there. And it's pretty interesting because if y'all can find and actually can share with me the entirety of her speech, I will include that, and I will do it as a separate review video on the Anton Daniels channel, and maybe even here on the Millionaire Morning Show. But my girl Danny C from Chicago, gorgeous, beautiful woman. Obviously, I had her on this platform before, and she's had an opportunity to speak at this hearing. Also, me and Danny C, we're actually doing something in Detroit together. Her, Chicago. I forgot what the name of the group is. Chicago Turns Red, Turning Chicago Red, Chicago Red. So me and her, and I am doing a full interview and an in-person event here in Detroit. I will let y'all know all about that next week. And so if y'all are in Detroit, then y'all can definitely come and kick it with us in person and come and sit with us and be able to talk. But she had an opportunity to go and speak in front of Congress, and this is what happens.
And Chicago's status as a sanctuary city coming under heavy criticism at a House hearing in Washington. A resident from Chicago unleashing on Democrats for embracing policies that she says don't have to face in their day-to-day lives.
I don't want anybody who crossed over here illegally unvetted. I don't want them in my community. The Democratic Party is so far from reality. They go in their gated communities. I don't see any of those people that's advocating to keep these people here. I don't see them in their house and their communities.
Talk about it, Danny. Talk about it, baby. So she over there and she said the same message, and she been advocating and doing the thing that's in Chicago's best interest, and she been fighting for the people. She been fighting for the people, and she fighting to turn Chicago red. I love it. I like it. Absolutely. And this is what I heard Jasmine Crockett responded to.
Joining us now is Fox News contributor Karl Rove. You can tell she feels all of that. She's not reading it. Jasmine Crockett, a congresswoman from Texas, had this to say, though.
My Republican colleagues are here using today to continue pushing this false narrative of sanctuary cities harboring criminals. Yet right here in D.C., we have a 34-count felon being harbored in the White House. The hypocrisy.
You see her nasty attitude? Do you see what she acts like towards American voters? Do you see how smug she is and she's a public servant and getting paid to the people that's doing the thing that's best? She never addressed the issue. She's just a sassy, ashy, overly privileged, trying to act like Nunu from ATL, black woman in Congress that is being empowered by a bunch of other women. Look how nasty her attitude is.
Using today to continue pushing this false narrative of sanctuary cities harboring criminals. Yet right here in D.C., we have a 34-count felon being harbored in the White House. The hypocrisy coming from your side of the aisle over concerns regarding lawlessness is outrageous.
Ugly, evil, ugly. I'm honestly, ugh. And they just put more of a battery inside of her back. Just putting the battery inside of her back over and over and over and over again. I just can't, man. I just can't, bro. Aggravate me. Disgusting, evil. I don't like her, bro. I don't like anything about her. She is disrespectful towards the people that she no sympathy, no empathy. The people in Chicago have been suffering for a long time, and this is her disposition towards the people.
Your side of the aisle over concerns regarding lawlessness is outrageous.
I feel like the Democrats seem to be, especially Jasmine Crockett, are just talking about something totally separate from what the young woman was saying from Chicago.
Absolutely. Why we pay attention to Congresswoman Crockett is beyond me. I say that as a fellow Texan. Let's think about this.
Terrible.
In sanctuary cities, I think it was last year, 25,000 detainers were declined. What does that mean? That means ICE, the immigration people, had evidence of somebody who was in a jail in one of these cities who was here illegally, and they put they gave an order to the city saying, we want you to surrender that person to us when they're processed out of your jail. And in 25,000 instances in sanctuary cities, the city said, we are going to decline your detainer. We are not going to turn them over to you. In an additional 1,400 instances, they released somebody who was from their jail, whom they'd been given a detainer for and had not declined it, but ignored it. And so they released those people. So we're talking about 26,400 people who were in city jails, who were released, who were illegally here in this country, who were released by sanctuary city officials to go do perhaps something else that would cause them to be arrested. This is outrageous.
I believe that all of those Democrats and everybody that you see ignoring the issue, I think that they're compromised. There's no way that they're not compromised. There's no way that you, in your right mind, that you would allow for this to happen. I wouldn't allow it to happen. You know what it's the equivalent of? It's the equivalent for me of a normal person seeing somebody in the alley. Let's say it's a woman or a child or a grandmother, and she's being raped, she's being maimed, she's being absolutely just getting torn apart. You're walking past the alley, you see it happening, and you don't even call the police. You just act like it never happened. There's no way as a person, as a human being, that I am not going to at least be like, hey, man, what y'all doing down there? Leave her alone. There's no way as a human being that I'm not going to say, hey, I'm call the police immediately. It's no way as a human being that you can ignore the atrocities that is happening in real time. In real time. Those are, in my opinion, those are the most evil human beings that have the power to do something, that have the power to stop it with the stroke of a pen or an advocacy group, or to just go and help to change laws and bring visibility to the things that are really meaningful to the American people. And you see people suffering in your very own communities. You see people suffering in Chicago, and you choose to ignore it. You choose to ignore it. It's we are programmed as human beings. Now, we are conditioned later as we grow up through life, and we have, all of this trauma, and we see enough stuff, and it just becoming normalized, and we got PTSD, and we program through video games and music and reality. We program we adjust and we then culturally change our lives and our mindsets to actually think that it's normal to do some of the worst things ever, and we turn a blind eye to things. But if it's right in front of your face, and you still act like it's not there, that means that you are absolutely compromised, and you are one of the most vile people that ever. Most vile people ever. It's hard for you to ignore that type of thing that happens in your community and act like it's not happening. They won't even speak on it. They tried their best to avoid anybody that was saying it during the last presidential election.
This is not being concerned about the public safety and the order and law and order in their cities, and in these sanctuary cities, 26,000 people. Now, where are they from?
Back on the street.
This is amazing to me. Half of them were in California, and the other.
I asked some of those protesters that was out. I might go hunt some down today for my birthday weekend. I asked some of those protesters. I said, "Why don't y'all acknowledge Lake and Riley? Why do y'all think it's okay for illegal migrants to come into this country, and even the ones that are criminals, to come over here and to do some of the most vile things, and y'all still don't advocate against it? You think it's okay for people to come over into this country, for us to have open borders?" Silence. Most of these protesters out here is paid anyway. That's to be honest with you.
Big groups of them are Illinois, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. The officials in these states are not concerned, particularly at the local level, which is where this happens, are not concerned with the safety of their people. They could easily say, we're going to participate in a program called 287G, which is the federal government will come in and train your people how, if they get a detaining order, how they're supposed to respond to it, and give them access to federal databases and federal information that would allow them to identify if a criminal they have taken into their possession is here illegally.
You mentioned those other states. I want to put up on the board for everyone to see the numbers there from those other states like Illinois, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. New York and Minnesota are also up there. And Carl, in the remaining time we have, can you explain, is it possible, many of these are blue states, or maybe Virginia you would say is a purple state, can this issue affect politics there on a wide enough scale that you would see some sort of changes maybe even this year in New York as there's a gubernatorial race, or in 2026 in the midterms?
Well, it could be an issue, but look, this is not state officials. These are local officials. So the question is, in places like San Francisco or Richmond or New York City, are you going to have people standing up as the woman in Chicago did and saying to the city officials, are you really, truly concerned about the safety of our people? Are you concerned about law and order in our community? If so, participate with the federal government and get these people who are in our jails, who are here in this country illegally. When they leave your jail, send them out of our country. Don't release them back into our community, perhaps to do another offense that causes them to be arrested locally and held in the local city jail.
Thank you, Ida B. Wells.
And one of those things that's important, though, is this: if you get state and locals to start to change, then you can make affect policy change, which would be good, but that could also have a different effect as well federally.
Absolutely. But today we have an ability of local sheriffs to get involved in 287G, this program that gives them extra tools. What's interesting to me is that some counties and some cities do not allow their law enforcement personnel to engage with the federal government. That is willfully taking an act that says we're not going to do what we can do to protect the people in our community.
Looks like a pretty...
That's unfortunate. And again, I think that people like Jasmine Crockett, and listen, it don't matter if you Democrat or Republican. She just so happened to be a Democrat. Anybody that is that flippant and disregard the thing that the person is speaking towards and think that they are bigger than the system, or think that they're bigger than the people and the voters that actually got them in office, I think it's disgusting. If you a Republican, you a Democrat, but you just got this flippant attitude towards the people, when they're voicing their concerns to you and they did so much to get there in order to, have this conversation with you, it's disgusting. And I think that she got the worst attitude, so ugly, so flippant, so disrespectful. And, we gotta get her out. I might make it my personal business to try to get her up out of there, but that's just me. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go on to the next part of the show. Shout out to Ida B. Wells in the building. I appreciate you. Ryan Powell says, if they have another 1-900 Hustler song, they got to have you on it, bro. Salute AD says, Rod Nell, I'm loving this trade war, buying everything up like a Goodwill store. Smart. AR Smitty says, maybe Jasmine Crockett just needs to relieve some stress, AD. Dog, I don't like that lady, bro. I genuinely don't like her. Nigel Daniels says, happy birthday, AD Bagchaser. Get ready for the next meetup. Missed you in Houston. Keep shining for the world, bro. I'm on it. Waves World. Excellent. Says, happy birthday from the D. Joined the Bagchasers a few weeks ago. So much game-changing information. Thanks, AD. Shout out to Waves World. Shout out to my Detroit brethren in the building. I appreciate y'all. Last thing that I want to talk about before I get up out of here, and thank you to everybody for the birthday wishes. Thank you to everybody for the love. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everybody that hit a like for the algorithm. Last thing that I want to talk about is burn. Feel the burn, Sanders in the building. I want to talk about Bernie Sanders. And the reason why I want to talk about Bernie Sanders is because they're telling me that he had an interview with Anderson Cooper of CNN, right? And so he was giving a warning to Americans that Republicans don't give a dude about you. And so I said, well, listen, we want to give equal coverage to the people that are on the Democrat side also, and we want to objectively review it. I haven't seen this, but I heard that it was a pretty fiery interview. Check it out.
Tariffs are aimed at part, and the president talks about bringing manufacturing jobs to America. The White House talked about iPhones being made here in America. Some economists have said that it would cost thousands of extra dollars to buy an iPhone. Is that realistic?
I think I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is the immediate harm is going to be very significant. And it is going to...
I'm going to read Cash App too, because y'all showing me a lot of love on Cash App too. I'm going to read those shortly.
Looked around there. Virtually all of those products sold in stores like Target are going to see significant increases in prices if Trump gets his way with tariffs. That's going to hurt working people a whole lot.
This is Marge Watchorn, a manager at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. She's worked with the federal government for 30 years. Thank you for your service. Thanks. Marge is a Democrat from Ellicott City, Maryland. Marge?
Senator, what would you say to federal employees who are concerned about the careless workforce cuts being effectuated by Elon Musk and DOGE?
I want to say two things about that. First of all, thank you and your colleagues for your years of service.
I want y'all to know that they also vet all of these questions before they're asked, just for the people that may not be familiar with what goes on behind the scenes.
The vast majority of federal employees are trying their best to do the jobs that have to be done to protect the American people, and I thank you all very much for that. The idea that Mr. Musk goes around and with a chainsaw, I mean, that is his metaphor, a chainsaw, slashing jobs all over the place, telling people based on nothing that they have poor performance records, throwing them out into the street is outrageous. But I want to say something else, above and beyond. And by the way, I was just on the floor a few hours ago. They have decided in their brilliance, and I suspect this is a Musk initiative, to lay off, they have a proposal to lay off 83,000 workers at the Veterans Administration. Got that? So we made a commitment to the men and women who put their lives on the line that we were going to provide them with the best quality health care that we could. And generally speaking, I know in my state, veterans are very proud of the health care they get in White River Junction, Vermont, and that's true in many places in this country. But arbitrarily, throwing 83,000 workers in the Veterans Administration, lowering the quality of care for our veterans, delaying the kind of the time in which they're going to get their benefits is a total outrage. I want to add one point to that.
When y'all ask what do these people do, they go on podcast tours and they speak on different platforms. That's pretty much what they do. They don't actually do any work. It's one of the easiest jobs ever. Their main job is to go and speak and then also create visibility for themselves so that they can raise money for their campaign fund. They spend every year, all year, the majority of their time either on vacation or raising money. And in order to raise money nowadays, they got to become more visible. And this is why they do these podcast tours. And this is why they jump on these platforms.
I want everybody to think about this. Most people, we have millions of federal employees. Most people are not federal employees. And I think many people are saying, wow, that's outrageous. I really feel for these federal employees thrown out on the street. But I want you to think about this. If Musk can do this to federal employees, some of whom are in unions, some of whom work for years, what do you think?
Oh, no wonder you so angry, Juju. And I'm hoping that you a girl with a name like Juju too. Says, I'm in GovTech AD, you're lying. We do a lot of work. What did I lie about? I didn't even speak about government employees yet. And y'all don't do a lot of work, y'all. Most of y'all are lazy. Most of y'all are lazy. Most government workers, especially GovTech workers, are lazy. That's how I know. I knew it. I knew it. Shout out to my homeboy's name, Juju. Now I see why you're so angry.
He's going to be doing when artificial intelligence and robotics comes for your job. Guess what? The job you have today ain't going to be here in 10 or 15 years. And you think Musk and his friends are saying, oh my goodness, how do we protect American workers from the explosion in technology that we're seeing? They don't give a damn about you. If this is
So let me inform people. First of all of these people that are resistant to change, don't be. You should embrace it. That way you can keep a job and you can continue to make more money as you go. Most of these jobs are not there to replace you. They're there to assist you. They're there to make you much more efficient. I leverage artificial intelligence in everything I do, including content creation, including being able to put together different presentations, running the numbers, all of that stuff. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm putting together a presentation or I'm working on something in order to pitch to a potential sponsor for the show or something like that. Then instead of spending 8 hours meticulously putting together a PowerPoint or some documents that actually show data that would normally go in an Excel spreadsheet, it probably takes me less than 45 minutes for me to expedite the process and put together the same presentation with the same information, and it actually looks better than if I was to do it myself. If I'm on Photoshop, for example, and I have to remove a pond in the background or I have to add a background or something, it takes me it's a lot easier. Do I know how to do it manually? Absolutely. But it's a lot easier and quicker and faster, and I can work more efficient and make more money and spend more of my time doing things that's meaningful to the business if I can expedite the process. Artificial intelligence and technology is not there to slow you down or to eliminate your job. It's supposed to be there to make things much easier and more efficient. So if you're embracing it, then that means that you're looking at the opportunities and you're going in that direction. If you're not, then you're going to fall behind and it's going to be difficult for you to actually continue to move in that direction and become successful. And you can always go and get jobs in other industries that are being created as a result of Trump requiring companies to do business here in America. So we need less public sector jobs and we need more private sector jobs, because public sector jobs are fake jobs. They're not fake jobs in that they don't do anything. They're fake jobs in that they don't really add to our economy, and it doesn't add to the value of what we're doing here in America. We need industries to be able to stand alone. We do not need bloated government. We need smaller government, not bigger government.
This is what they could do to federal employees. Think about what they could do to people in the private sector. So bottom line there is I am not a Luddite. I think technology has many positive things to say. But we have got to understand that new technology, AI, robotics, has got to work for working people, not just for the billionaires and Mr. Musk.
It's all a talking point, Joe. It's the billionaires, the billionaires, the billionaires, the billionaires, and the billionaires of Mr. Musk. The billionaires of Mr. Musk. It's always the billionaires. And you know the reason why they don't say the millionaires anymore? Because they're millionaires. People that have been paid by the people for their entire career. Biden was a 50-year government employee. That means that not only did he do and get whatever it is that he got behind the scenes, but these people have been getting rich off the American people's backs and the taxpayers for a long time. They want more taxes, not less taxes. And they will think about it. A public servant getting rich, billionaires, more billionaires and their buddies, billionaires. Meanwhile, most of them are funded by George Soros. Most of them are funded by George Soros. And it's the billionaires. Billionaires and Musk and his buddies. Billionaires, Musk and his buddies. And they will never mention millionaires anymore because they are a part of the game now.
There's a lot of talk about from the DOGE team or from Elon Musk about waste, fraud, and abuse and what they're finding. Have you seen much evidence of waste, fraud, and abuse? Because what they put on their wall of receipts, some of the top items, the biggest savings they allege to have implemented, turned out to be mistakes or just lies.
Look, am I going to sit here and tell anybody in America that the United States government doesn't have a bureaucracy and there isn't waste? Of course there is. And do we all, you're Republican, conservative, progressive, I was mayor of the city of Berlin. One of the things I'm proud of is...
Let me guess, he's going to say, but you can't take a chainsaw, you got to take a scalpel. You got to go through with a scalpel, not a chainsaw, because there's plenty of people in the federal government that is working hard, and they're hard-working Americans, especially our veterans.
We save money. We made the city more efficient. People pay taxes. They want to make sure their money goes to where it's supposed to go. We can do better than we're doing right now.
Is there a contribution Elon Musk could make to the federal government that you would be...
I think his name, I don't think he can do it. But do I think as a nation, as a Congress, as an administration, we got to sit down and say, how do we break through the bureaucracy and make the government more efficient? Yes. But I want to give you one example.
Bullshit. And I hate to say that on a Millionaire Morning Show, but holy bullshit. 100% bullshit. You know why? Because how come they haven't done it already? So Elon Musk, the most innovative man of our lifetime, can't do it. He don't know what he's talking about. It takes public servants to do what they should have been doing but never did to do it. Man, are y'all still listening to these politicians? Honestly, no. It takes us to come together and do it. So why haven't you did it then? You're old as dirt. You've been a public servant your entire life. You got rich off of it. So how come you didn't do it if you already was going to do it, but Musk can't do it, but even though he's doing it? He can't do it. He can't do it. I hate these politicians, bro.
And this worries me a whole lot. Trump gets up in his State of the Union, and many of you have heard it, and he says, oh my goodness, millions and millions of senior citizens, 150 years age, 200 years of age. Remember that? Oh, they're all getting Social Security benefits. It's a lie. A total, absolute lie. I mean, according to the new guy who is going to become the Social Security Administrator, Trump's own appointee, well over 99% of the benefits owed to people on Social Security were earned by the people on Social Security. It's just another lie. So a lot of what they're doing is, am I going to tell you the Veterans Administration is the most efficient organization in the world? No, it's not. But you don't simply, with a chainsaw, if you like, get rid of 83,000 people, then say, oh, it's not going to impact the quality of care that our veterans receive.
The president's keeping a 10% tariff on most countries, 25%.
Was I right about what he was going to say? Was I right about what he was going to say? Was I right about what I was going to say? You just don't go through with a chainsaw. Was I right about what he was going to say? I don't want to hear any more of Bernie Sanders. I'm done with him. I don't want that to be the last thing that I think about on the Millionaire Morning Show before I dig deep into my birthday. But let me read some of these. First of all, I got to read these cash apps. Hold on, let me get Bernie off my screen. I don't want him on my screen. First, I'm going to read the cash apps, and then I'm going to go into the super chats. First of all, I want to say I appreciate Gone Postal. Says, happy birthday. Remember, we are more than our D. Not this summer, we not. Not this summer, I'm not. Listen, my midlife crisis is going to be on the I Choose You 2 tour. It ain't gonna be buying cars. I'm not gonna go and get a drop top. Nope, my midlife crisis is gonna be on the I Choose You 2 tour. Shout out to Chris James with the big dog $200 on Cash App. Chris, I love you. I appreciate you. You are so much appreciated inside of this. Thank you, Chris James, for holding me down. I'm about to go get me a sandwich as a result of it. Yes. Crown says, AD, you made my son's birthday when you wished him a happy birthday back in November. Happy birthday from the Willis family. I appreciate you and all you do. Shout out to my dog Crown and the Willis family and to your son, bro. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Manuel AG says, government workers do so much work. They don't have time to send an email, which 5 things that they did that week. Rush King says, how many people actually have lost their jobs? Seem inflated. I keep seeing different numbers or different people, but never show any proof. Duran Lee says, AD, did you see the one girl check Cooper over her pronoun before she asked her question? No, I didn't see that. Send it to me. J Dub says, blessings, AD. Birthday blessings to you, AD. It's amazing that people waste time scaring people and telling them to fight when there's so much work to do in our country. Ray Sean! Shout out to my dog, Ray Sean. Hey, Anton, happy birthday. Hope you have fun doing Anton stuff this weekend. Oh, I'm going to be such a bad guy this weekend. I'm going to be such a bad boy this weekend. So y'all give me grace if y'all see me on TMZ or if you see me on the Shade Room. Yannick, shout out to Ray Sean. Thank you for the 200 ball. I appreciate you, bro. One of my greatest students of all time. Yannick says, shout out to you, big dog. Came to this country with 500 to my name. In April 2024, the algorithm showed me your videos in December 23. And that gave me the motivation to come up on an H-2B visa. Bless up on the cake today. Shout out to Yannick and getting to that money. Sarah, oh, look at this. And Anton, did you say Miss Danny is coming to the city? That's my girl. Happiest birthday to the real Detroit player. Have a great weekend. Yes, we are doing it. Let me see. I'll tell y'all the exact date. Chicago Red. I'm going to get the information for y'all, and then I'm going to talk about it as soon as I can. But yes, we will be doing a conversation, an in-person conversation, and we're going to be live streaming, and we're going to be talking about it, and we will be in Detroit. We actually going to be doing it in person, and so y'all going to be able to come and see it for yourselves. Thank you, Sarah. What up, though? Shout out to my girl. You hit me with that twice. Was that my mistake? Remember AD business before back shots? Nope. No promises. No promises, Willie Love. Willie. No promises. I don't know what's going to happen. If you see me on the internet, if you see me on the news because I was inside of something or doing something that I wasn't supposed to be inside of, and see, your mind is going to the wrong place. I'm talking about inside an organization, in the doors or something like that. Then it is what it is. So, yep. Just protect me from myself, and we're going to continue to do what we do. Listen, y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Shout out to Mr. Jones. Happy birthday, Miss Big Dog. More life at the United Skates skating rink in Cleveland when you come through. Blessings. I'm going to see what's happening over there in Cleveland. I'm going to see what's happening. Tariq Walker says, happy birthday, AD. Peace and blessings. Thank you, Tariq. Thank you, my guy. I might wake up with a face tat. I might. Look at how beautiful it is outside today. Look at how blessed it is. I'm about to go and get one of my cars and be riding around feeling sweet. Look how beautiful it is outside today. Look at the city. You got Canada. You got the city over there. This is the convention center right here. This is Huntington Place. You got Detroit. Look at the city. Look how beautiful the city is. It's gorgeous. All around, the city is gorgeous everywhere. It's a sunny day. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It is awesome. So, I don't know who's going to be in here on the tan couch this weekend, but I will tell you that you're going to have to give me some grace. I love you. I appreciate you. It is an awesome day. Ain't God good? I asked God for forgiveness ahead of time. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Make sure y'all tune into After Hours tonight. It's going to be lit. I'm unhinged. I'm going to get it together one day, but just not today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tonight. Peace.